Oh, goodness. Good morning, everybody. I just said a bad word. I hope nobody heard me. I hit the wrong button. Well, and it was okay, I think, but I don't think I was live, but I hope not. I really hope not. And if I was live, oh, just pretend like there was a big old bleep that went right over my word because sometimes it just happens, right? So welcome, everybody. Hang on. Let me just get that situated there. Okay, there we go. Good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone. Let's see. Oh, there's Mandy. Yeah, okay, good. I think that means you didn't hear me. So it was not a pretty word. Not a word that a young lady, any lady, because I'm not young, let's be honest, should be saying. So sometimes it just comes out, right? So we have, oh, let's see, Mega. Hold on, I gotta look here. Karen, hello. Sarah. Oh, Karen, did Karen get a new printer? Cheyenne, good morning. Julie and Mandy, Pam, good morning. I'm trying to look in both places. Joanna, Mindy, good morning, everyone. Okay, so lots has happened this week since we were all together last. So I'll jump into that in a second. Hi, Diane and Selena, Mrs. Merrill, Miss Waddell. So friends, let's back up for a second so we can kind of get on track. If you don't know me and this is your first live with me, welcome. My name is Lael Kankar and I have a business called Lael by Mail. During non-COVID times, which now seems like that's all we know, I spent a lot of time traveling and teaching at different events around the country and teaching at scrapbook stores. Teaching scrapbook classes, mini book classes, planner classes, traveler's notebook classes. March of 2020, everything kind of came to a screeching halt. I actually, the first weekend in March, was at a store in Minnesota teaching. That is Firefly Farm. Came home from that and literally, kind of COVID was kind of out there, but nobody really kind of knew what it was. But it was that next week that was like, oh my gosh, and kind of everything the next week shut down. So since then, this is what I've been doing a lot of. I have been teaching virtually at a number of different events and stores, but kind of just stumbled upon this Saturday thing. And I think yesterday, I think this is week 49 that we've done this, which is just absolutely crazy. And I love it. I often say that this is very selfish of me to do this because I get so much out of this. This is kind of the only time that I ever carve out for my own personal crafting time. So I love that, but I also love the social interaction with everyone. And when I say social interaction, I mean me talking and you guys, no, listening, but you guys are also typing and chatting and you guys chat amongst yourselves as well. And I just love that. I think that's so cool. So we've kind of inadvertently built this really neat community of people that are all together. And I don't know if under COVID, non-COVID circumstances, if it would have happened. And actually, I could probably say it wouldn't have because until kind of everything started last year in March, I'd never done anything live like this on YouTube. So anyhow, welcome. I also have a website and it is called laelbymail.com. As we work every week on our list, there's a lot of different product that I use. In a lot of cases, the product that I'm using, I carry on my website. And you will find links to the product that I'm using in the description of the video down below. In other cases, there's product that I don't carry, but as much as I can, I will give you links to where I buy those products because I know in a lot of cases, you are interested in some of the things that I'm using. Always, always, always so important. If you have a local independent mom and pop scrapbook store, art store, yarn store, coffee shop, pet store, whatever it is, please, please, please shop local when you can. That is so, so important. And it's so important for the kind of vitality of our whole kind of crafting industry. So if you can shop local, please shop local. Okay, now that we have those things out of the way, if you are new, one last thing, there is a chat that takes place when I am doing this live. So now you'll see lots of people kind of chatting. It's a wonderfully, wonderfully, wonderfully friendly group. So if you are a newbie or if you are a lurker, someone that has been around for a while but never really popped into the chat, I encourage you to just pop in and say hi. Tell us your name if you're comfortable with that, and also where you're from if you're comfortable with that. This is the coolest thing. We have people literally from all over the world that join us, which I just think is, the power of technology. It's really cool. So let's see. I know I'm missing all kinds of things, friends. Um, so, yes, live chat. If you're watching the replay, which I know tons of people do, welcome to you too. Really, it's no different than watching live. And if you didn't know, it's kind of like that old cassette tape commercial years ago. Is it live or is it Memorex? If no one told you that it wasn't live, you would think it was live. So welcome. All right, so what we will be doing today, we have 3 lists as usual that we will be talking about. I'll start out by giving a prize away, but then I'll also start out by sharing something brand new that I'm so excited about. If you receive my emails, then you know probably because I sent an email out last night. And lots of times you guys always wonder what Nick's doing, and my husband, whether he's golfing or skiing or whatever. Today, he is trying to get orders organized because it's been crazy. So thank you. Anyhow, we'll talk about that. I'll show you guys what's new if you don't know in a few minutes. But I have a winner of last week's little prize pack from Andy K Art. And if you don't know Andy K, Andy is my friend that does the List It stamps. That she was wonderful to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Indulge me in an idea I had about, hey, it'd be really cool if we had some clipboard stamps. And she just released her 3rd, which is one of the 2 new products that I'll show you guys in a minute. Anyhow, she's wonderful to work with. I love her to death. But she has, for a while now, been sending me little prizes like this to give away. So gave these guys this little pack away last week. Well, again this week, but I drew it this morning. And the winner of that, oh golly, I think Sarah, oh gosh, and I just barely did it. Sarah Hokinson or something like that. I'm so sorry because I know I just totally butchered your name. But I left her a comment on last week's video. So here's the deal. I like to give away things every week. And the way that I do that is I'll have you come back to the video once it's over and leave a comment on the video. So not in the chat, but leave a comment on the video. And it doesn't matter where you live. I ship international. One of you was from Sweden and won one of those little prize packs about a month or 2 ago. So it doesn't matter where you are. You just need to leave a comment. So what we'll do this week, after the video is over, I'll have you leave me a comment. And I usually like to pull the topic, one of our listing topics, and have you just tell me what would be on your list. So one of our listing topics today, the very first one that we'll do, is why you like to make lists. So when the video is over, make yourself a mental note, or if you're like me, write it on your to-do list because I won't remember, to come back to the video after the fact, leave a comment and tell me one of the things on your to-do list. And then I will, next week, draw a random person to win this week's prize pack. So this week's prize pack, I'm actually not going to show you this way. I'm actually going to flip the camera and show you what it is because you need to have a close look. Okay, friends, so here's the deal. When we get to this point, I have to move for a minute. Stephanie Hokinson. Yes, that's who it is. Stephanie Hokinson. Thank you, Michelle. Stephanie Hokinson. I butchered that, but I had an idea to write it down, but I didn't. So what we're going to do here, congratulations, Stephanie. I am going to turn on the lights because we need a little bit of light on the subject here so we don't have as many shadows. So turning on the lights. Oh, we're still plugged in, right? Okay. Didn't look like, oh yeah, we're good. Okay. Then I'm going to flip the camera. So as I flip the camera, this is always the scary part because it's really bright. As I flip the camera, it's like we're at Disneyland. So arms and legs inside the road, ride at all times. And we're gonna spin, just like the teacups, which I can't ride because they make me sick. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, there we go. It was funny. You guys, that little maneuver, much easier than it looks. I mean, it's easy, but it just took me a while to figure out that that's what you had to do to kind of make things work. Somebody, it's funny, left a comment on one of my earlier videos this week, and she said, I'm just going back and I've been revisiting some of the videos, and she said, it's so fun to watch you back in your early days when you were trying to figure out how to spin the camera. That's when our son Sam was kind of my little helper, right? Okay, friends. Oh, let's see. Lynn and Mandy, Michelle, Wanda. Yes, good. Everyone congratulating Stephanie. That's wonderful. Jesse, yeah. No, teacups are bad. When I was a kid, well, even when I was an adult, before I had kids, teacups, no problem. Yeah, not anymore. Like, I can't even look at the teacups without literally wanting to, without literally wanting to barf. Okay, friends, so let's first talk about this week's giveaway. This week's giveaway ties into a really fun announcement that I have because there are not one. Oh, Tracy, when I finish sideways, yep. But that's why in the early days I had to like keep you guys on your toes, right? I won't guarantee that I won't. I can't guarantee that I won't at some point end sideways again because you never know. All right. So here's the deal. 2 brand new stamp sets. These little guys, my husband Nick had a couple weeks ago, I think he'd kind of done one of these where he was like, look, and then he kind of moved away. This is Andy's new stamp set. This one is called List It, Mini Clips, and More. So after we did the first set of clips, we had started talking about the second set of clips. And at the same time we were talking about the second set of clips, I said, oh my gosh, you know what would be really awesome too? Would be if we had little minis. Because sometimes you just need something smaller, right? You love the whole concept of a clip, but you need something smaller. So of course, Andy and her awesomeness went right to work on this little mini clip and more stamp set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little mini clips. These little paper, not paper clips, those would be called clothespins. Yes, those are really fun. I will use some of these in next week's video, but they're really fun the way that she's designed them because, oh, I know, I'm just going to show you. Let's just show you. I haven't even played with these yet. And then we'll look at our other guys. Let me get this out. You guys, as we're getting going, usually about the first 15 minutes of the live streams every week, we're doing this, right? I am talking, I'm doing some announcements, I'm doing some giveaways, or I'm talking about who won. We're doing a regroup from last week. I always need to do an introduction because I know a lot of you have heard it, but we still continue to get lots of new folks joining us. So anyhow, first 15 minutes is usually just kind of housekeeping and getting some things out of the way before we list. So if you prefer not to engage in that, then you just know you can either join about 15 minutes in, or if you're watching on the replay ever, just, fast forward until you see me start working. All right, so let's just look at this little guy. This is one of the little clothespins, and I'll show you, this is Andy, how good she is. So see how this little clothespin, when I stamp it, part of it, the front of the clothespin you can see, but the back of the clothespin is not really there. It's like it's hidden behind a piece of paper, right? So if I were to use this for a list or, anything else, probably what I would do is come in and go, and of course the sound effects would be there too. So that's really raw, but there you go. So now it looks like that little clothespin is holding that piece of paper. So isn't that such a good idea for lists? And that was all Andy because she's just awesome like that. So that is the first set, and those are the mini clips and more. And those are in stock and shipping. Okay, from me. And they are, of course, linked in the description of this video down below. Now, lots of other fun ones there. This one, you guys, and I'm so excited always about all of the Andy stamps because they're just right up my alley and I love her. But here's the thing, and we'll have to see. Andy, if you're on, you should say hello to everyone. She and I were chatting back and forth via email this morning, and really a lot over the last couple of weeks because we've been hard at work. Well, when I say we've been hard at work, I should say Andy's been hard at work and Lael's been hard at work dreaming. And Andy takes Lael's dreams and puts them into reality. And that is what we have here, you guys. This is, and I'm so excited, this is the very first official Lael by Mail product. So you guys, this is mine. It says Lael by Mail right down there on it. These will be here today. So right now I have my kind of early, I don't know, set of 12 or whatever that the manufacturer sent me. But the packaging is really fun too. Anyhow, these are just me. But you guys, this all came from you guys because that little guy is our mascot come to life. Yay! Did I see Andy on here? Yay! She's wonderful, you guys, seriously. Anyhow, but this guy, you remember this guy maybe. This is Scatter. That in the early days of the videos when Sam was still hanging around with us, my son, our son, one of our sons, I don't know, squirreled a couple times. And after the video one day, I said to Sam, you know what? Sam, I should find like a squirrel. So I went to Amazon and found this little squirrel and you guys named him Scatter, right? You guys named him Scatter. And it's a perfect name for him because that's what I do. We'll be talking, we'll be working, and all of a sudden I completely squirrel and I go in a different direction. And that's just kind of what happens when we all get together. Well, let's be honest, that's what happens to Lael in everyday life, but it certainly happens when we get together. So Andy kind of took my vision and created this little guy. That is, that's Scatter. There's our little mascot. So this little stamp set is called Scattered Thoughts. There are 2 versions of Scatter. Let's see, maybe if I did this, it'd be easier. So you're not seeing the palm of my hand underneath. Oh, there we go, that's better. But 2 little scatters. And then you have some Lael writing, and this one, you guys knew this one was going to be on there. There's the You Do You, and that actually, I wrote it, and then Andy did her magic and turned it into whatever she needed to do, and I'm not a graphic artist, but she is, and she's amazing. So you have a little You Do you have a Get It Done, but this is called Scattered Thoughts because you have this little guide too. So if you wanted, your little scatter could be saying things. You could put list titles in here. You could do lots of things. You also have a couple of words, choose happy and make today count. But then you have bullets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know how I'm always looking for different bullet ideas, right? So you have a little acorn bullet, a bigger acorn bullet, a double-lined heart, a little flower, a double-lined square, double-lined circle, a star, and then a little asterisk. So that is the new Scattered Thought stamp set. And you guys, I am so excited. I tell you, this is going to sound so stupid, but really, I never would have done this without you guys because really, and this is crazy, before COVID started, this little guy, Scatter, this whole thing didn't even exist. So I love it. Last thing I will say about that, because I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one, the mini clips, and also this one, I have a bundle. So the bundle is both of these stamps. They're each normally 10, so 10 and 10 is 20. If you buy the bundle, you also get one of the other new products, which is coming early next week because I didn't even have that yet, but I was so excited I had to put these out. There is a vinyl scatter sticker. Die cut sticker that's almost 3 by 3. So you could put it on a water bottle, you could put it on your laptop, you could put it on a not a printer. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. Although I might have to put them on my Epson printer. But you could put them on a traveler's notebook, but they're waterproof and scratch proof. So they're pretty awesome. Just a vinyl sticker. Anyhow, if you order the bundle, those 2, then that vinyl sticker for Scatter also comes with it. But you can also get that one separately. Okay, friends, now after all that stuff, okay, this is funny, Kathy. I love those stamp sets. Hurry, Nick, put mine in the mail. Oh, golly, you guys. And you know what? I missed lots of comments because what happens is I start getting excited and I'm talking and I'm showing and then I can't pay attention to comments when I do that. So thank you guys. Thank you for all of that. Thank you for your support. And I'm so excited. I can't even hardly stand it. Okay, now let's get started. Judy, I will tell you, I know because I've sent out lots of single pack stamps to that area. I think it is either $8.13 or $9.13, $9.13, and that's US, shipping in a flat rate envelope. And they've been getting their fine. So if you are Canada and you want to order, you can either, Well, if you order directly from the website, it's going to charge you higher shipping because it thinks that everything has to go in a box, because that's just what it has to think. So your shipping will be less. And when your order ships, we'd refund the difference of what you were charged versus what it actually cost. If you don't want to do that, then you can shoot me an email and say, here's my address, I want this stamp or whatever it is you want, and then I can send you an invoice with the cost of the shipping and the stamp. Just know that that could take maybe up to a week before I can get to those, because there's lots kind of in process right now, but that's another option. Okay. Wanda, yes, I can absolutely watch the comments later. Yes, I will for sure. Nick, I'm going so fast, my fingers are bleeding. You guys know what this is? This is the world's smallest violin. We all feel so bad for Nick. No, I could not do it without him. Absolutely, he's amazing. But yes, we all know Nick and his sense of humor, right? Good morning, my favorite cheerleader. Yeah, he's a good team player. He's a good team player, if for nothing else, you guys, that he puts up with me. Honestly, and he would be shaking his head if he was right next to me right now. He'll probably come up and shake his head. Yes, Band-Aids. Send Nick Band-Aids. Okay, yes, the stamps are in the shop now. I have linked to them in the description of the video. Okay, let's get now to, well, I was going to say why we're all here, but I don't know about you guys. A lot of why I'm here is because I like this interaction. If you remember when I said I normally travel a ton, I'm usually a very social person because I'm traveling and teaching a lot. Denise, you're going to see it. He did it. Anyhow, normally I'm traveling and teaching a lot, so I'm really used to being out and about and around a lot of people and being social, and I really miss that. So that's part of why I'm here. Well, that's really a lot of why I'm here. Okay, friends, so last week we did 3 lists. The first one, let's just cover this one for a second. The first one that we did was things I love about fill in the blank. So you could fill in that blank whatever you wanted. I said if you have a spouse or a partner, or you have a child or a pet or a coworker or a friend, or things you love about chocolate, or things you love about the Southwest, or whatever it is, you could fill in the blank. So for my fill in the blank, I did things I love about Nick. Nick is my husband. We have been married, oh gosh, this May it'll be 26 years. So I did my little list about the things that I loved about him. And when I was done with that, one of you typed in the chat and said, you know what, on this opposite page, you should have Nick do the same list, but things that he loves about you. And I said, oh my gosh, I love it. And then someone said, well, you should have him decorate it. Well, so it was a 50-50. He said, sure, I'll do the list. But he said, I'm not decorating that. You do whatever you want, but I'm not going to decorate it. And I said, okay. So, so it worked. So it was funny because after the video was done, I told him, I said, okay, this is what you're going to do. And he's like, I am. And I said, well, please, honey, will you? And he goes, okay. So he thought about it literally all week. And then he came up yesterday and he had typed it out. He had typed it out and he's like, okay, I'm ready with my list. So it was very sweet. And I thought, you know what, this is such a good, this was such a good, I think, exercise for both of us, that it's good. A lot of times, especially if you've been with someone for a long time, or if you do this with a child or a friend, sometimes you take each other for granted. So this I thought was really neat for Nick and I to do because we've been married 26 years and it's probably been a long time since I told him what I like about him, and he probably did the same. Anyhow, so this is his list. I decorated it for him. I kept it pretty simple. I just took a piece of pattern paper. And then this one actually, this is the same piece of pattern paper. And I might try to do this today. We'll see if we have another paper that would work like this because I think it's actually kind of fun. But I just went in and fussy cut that part out of the paper and then tucked the list underneath. So there we go. That was his list. Some of the things are quite funny, so I thought I would read them to you. Even though this is not meant for me to be like, oh my gosh, look how wonderful I am, and my husband thinks I'm amazing, because let me tell you, he doesn't. I mean, that sounds bad, but let's be honest. So he said, things I love about Lael. Her striking blue, green, gray eyes, depending on the light. He also said his horrible handwriting, and I said, uh-huh. And I said, I bet if you tried, it would be, but Well, you talk about this, you guys, personality, right? This is him. This is his personality. And so I love that I have that piece of him in here. Her mischievous smile when she is doing something silly, which is all the time. She is a strong, smart, independent woman. You guys will love this one. Chasing the squirrel, AKA a layler. So I've mentioned that before. Sometimes when I'm telling stories, they kind of tend to drag on, and he calls that a layler. Her work ethic, she's an amazing mother. Her tender heart, she supports me in all the activities I do with my friends. There was one more that he had that actually didn't fit because it was a long one, and it had something to do with the fact that he loves that when I have a project that I want him to do, that I know that I can get him to do it even though he doesn't want to do it, but I ask him and he says no, but then he'll eventually do it anyway. Anyhow, that was kind of funny because that's how it works. Like, you know, years ago I said, Nick, I would really like to wallpaper the bathroom. And he's like, I'm not getting near wallpaper. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll do it. And then I kind of fumble around and make lots of things cling and, you know, drop things on the floor. And eventually he comes in, he's like, get out of the way. I'll do it, because that's how it works, right? Yes. So he is a sweetheart, and I love him dearly and could not do anything. Well, I certainly couldn't do Lael by Mail without him. Absolutely. All right. So that was our first list, and I loved that suggestion. So whoever made that, thank you so much, because I never would have done that, right? I never would have thought to do that. Okay. So, and this is probably why sometimes, I don't know if he's on anymore, but if he's still on, then this is probably why he likes to be on, because he's like, oh, you're like, he's the best. Nick, such a good job. He needs some positive reinforcement, because sometimes, you know how it is. Sometimes I'm like, Nick. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. Anyhow, hi, Brooke. Okay, so here we go. Our second list, favorite candy. Someone reminded me that we did favorite candy back in October around Halloween, and I'm like, oh, we did. Well, let's do candy again, because I like candy. So we had lots of fun talking about our favorite candies. Oh, I just remembered. I was going to come back and do something here, and I didn't. And I also, when I was spelling Lickamade, totally messed. Okay, hold on. The lick M space AID, not like lick the maid. The little thing that you'd put the sugar stick in, the sugar. It was called Lickamade back in my day. So I had been writing that out and totally messed up, so I had to write it out. That was our second list. Our third list was this guy. And oh my gosh, I loved how this list turned out. And I think that probably I know at least two of the three lists today will kind of be a little bit like this, because I liked kind of adding a couple layers of pattern paper. And fun dip, thank you. Colleen, pixie sticks, similar, right? All sugar that you just basically dump a not raw, but you were dumping flavored sugar in your mouth, which, you know, loved it. I was a kid, I loved it. All right, so this was our third list, and this was just the best things about yesterday. And this one we talked just about, you know, sometimes we have a really hard day, and just to be able to look at a day at the end of the day and say, okay, it wasn't all bad. There were some good things. And someone even in the chat had said, you know what, if you have nothing else to write on your list about it being a good day, it was that you were getting into bed and, you know, you're ready to go to sleep. So that was good. But this is a good list to just do every once in a while, even if you just do it mentally. I know some people have like a little notebook by their bed, and every day, every night, they'll sit down and just write a couple positive things or a couple of things that they're grateful for. So that's kind of something similar. All right, those were our lists last week. And I kind of hinted last week, right? Because I needed bullets and I couldn't find bullets that I wanted to use. That was one of the stamps from the new Scattered Thought stamp set. That is the double outline heart. And now you guys know, you're probably not surprised about the outline, because you know me and the outline with everything I do. So the first list that we're going to do today is why I make lists, right? Because that's what a lot of us do. That's what I do. I've been a list maker for seriously ever and a day. Since I was a little kid, I've always made lists. So the reasons why I make lists, I thought that could be a fun one for us to start out. And of course, I'm going to use my little scattered thoughts, because our our little friend Scatter needs to come out. So let me look at my little thing here, what I wanted to use. I am, for the base, going to use one of the wood papers from those new Simple Stories Woods paper pads. So you've seen me use this over the last couple of weeks, and I have used typically like this side, the office side. So I've used this guy, I've used the lined one a couple times. There's kind of an off-white version and a white version of all those papers. So normally those are the sides I use because I love those for my lists. But I thought it would be fun for this list as a base to use one of these wood papers because, you know, well, I don't need to pull him out anymore. I could say because little Scatter there. So I think I will use that guy. What's so fun about this pad, there are 6 wood patterns and then 6 of the office patterns. And because everything's side by side, back to back, double-sided, then you have one on each side. You also have 4 sheets each of those combinations. So I think like, yeah, that's the one I said I was going to use, right? No, this guy. See, look, they're just so good. They're just great little backgrounds. So you have different variations of wood grain, but I think I like this one. So that is going to be the base. Put this little guy away. These are also linked in the description of the video. I was so excited that Simple Stories released those. They have had 12 by 12 versions of these papers forever. But I was so excited when they did the 6 by 8 because you know me, and if you don't, 6 by 8 pads are things that I use almost exclusively, 6 by 8 pads and 6 by 8 papers in my traveler's notebooks because they're the perfect size. I just need to trim them a little bit. And then the pattern is also scaled down. So if this was a regular 12 by 12 piece of paper, the distance between those lines would be a lot greater. 8.5 by 11. Oh, there you go, Kylie. So Hobby Lobby has a paper pack like that, but it's 8.5 by 11. An elevated way to make lists and they don't end up in the trash. Exactly. Now I'm like squirreling because I'm getting totally cotton candy burritos. Okay, I totally missed something there. I'm gonna go back to this because it's like jumping into the middle of a conversation for someone. Although yes, absolutely, Brooke. So what Brooke just mentioned, we absolutely need to address. She said, our Texas people here are praying for you. And it is heartbreaking what is going on in Texas right now. If we have people from outside of the US and you're not aware, Texas is normally, it's one of the biggest states. I think it's the biggest state mass-wise, but it's also one of the biggest states population-wise. Normally, they get no cold. I mean, normally it's very warm state, but they've had extremely unseasonably cold temperatures over the last week. They've had snow, and so their infrastructure, for lots of reasons, is not prepared for that. So millions of people have been without power. People are dying because of the cold. Now their water is affected. It is a mess. So second largest state after Alaska. Oh yes, mass-wise, that makes sense, Laura. So yes, sometimes we forget about Alaska, don't we? In the contiguous US, the largest. So anyhow, any friends that are here from Alaska, yes, we love you too. But any friends from Texas, yes, prayers for you. I was born in Texas, but that was a long time ago. Okay, so my base, I would like to have a little bit of a white border around, and because my paper pad is 8 inches, I already have a border top to bottom, right? So I need to trim it down the width. This inserts that I use are standard wide. So standard is 8.25 inches tall and wide is 5. So I think what I'll do is I need to trim off. That would be if I was doing it full page, but I'm not. I think we'll do 4.5. I think usually I do 4.5. And that just gives me a nice little white border around, around the base. And that's what I like to do. I always then come in with a corner rounder. So I round the outside corners. This, I save these. One of these days, I will start incorporating these in my list because that's just a great accent, right? So if I was, let's see, maybe doing a 2-page list, this one could go right here. And then over here, I could use that as an accent and then do something else over here. So if you're cutting down your 6x8s, you should save that piece. And it's double-sided. All right, so let's go ahead and do this here. Julie, your sister just got her water going with her husband, 5 plumbing stores and YouTube, no plumbers. That's the other thing. So because there are millions of people have burst pipes, and so there are issues with plumbing supplies being available at any of the hardware stores, then there's also issues with plumbers being available. So I think you're probably seeing a lot of people on YouTube, right? Figuring out how to fix burst pipes because, again, very once in 100 years cold. And so pipes aren't insulated there. Whereas in Utah, all of our pipes are always insulated. In Alaska, right, all of pipes are insulated. That's just part of the building code. Michelle, thaw, oh my gosh, the thaw is causing floods. You guys, it is just it's just sad. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And the thing that's even more heartbreaking is it's in the middle of COVID too. So you have that whole thing to contend with at the same time. It's just, but it's neat. You're seeing, I think a lot of Texans rally and help each other. And you are seeing a lot of people from around the country rally and help. So that's, okay. Sonia, happened twice in 20 years. Yeah, there are some issues yet with companies. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part in the whole thing, right? And I don't know. I can't even speak to that because I don't know. I haven't really followed what's happened with the electric company and the things that went on there, but it is, it's very sad. It is absolutely very sad. Okay, so I think on this one, I am not going to do like a double layer like I did here. I'll just do my list. But in order to do that, I need now a base. And for a base, I'm just going to do white. I will start out with white. Julie, I won't repeat that one. That's a whole other thing, right? That is a whole other thing with some of the politicians in the state, right? Okay, so the corner rounder. Yeah, the corner rounder, I use that all the time. That's like one of my go-tos. Those I have linked as well. Okay, so now, let's think about this, Lael. Whenever I pull white out like this, I like to go through this process just to explain. I use a lot of white cardstock in my crafting and as I make lists. I buy 8.5 by 11 because size of the insert, 8, right? So I get very little waste when I do, well, normally 8.25. So normally I would do that. There would be my 8.25, 5 inches wide. So I would do that and do that. And I have in my stash a bunch of these already pre-cut, but I like to kind of go through this process so you can see what I do. So that would be what I would start with. And if I wanted to do a complete blank page, there would be my blank page and I would round the corners. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to make I think what I want to do, I had decided ahead of time that I wanted to use that big happy sticker because lists definitely make me happy. But I think rather than adhering that happy sticker to my white, I think I might make my white piece shorter and then do happy right there. So here is a trick. If you're not sure you want to commit to something like that, and I'm not quite sure I want to commit, I'm going to come in and just cut this away from the sticker sheet. So this sticker sheet comes from the Maggie Holmes sticker book. That I have linked to in the description of the video. That's one that I carry on my website. If you are new to Lael, I love Maggie Holmes. I love her products. She is a super, super, super sweet, nice lady. But I love her products. I love her style. Those two papers right there were Maggie's. Some of the other papers you're going to see me use today are also from some of her collections. So, but I'll use the sticker book in a couple of other places. So we'll talk about that again in a little bit. And I am dying of heat, you guys. That's a bad thing to see, based on what we've been talking about in Texas. But these lights and then the menopause together today is not boding well for me. All right, so what I was thinking I was going to do was something like this. So let's get a little pencil out here and make sure that we like what we're going to commit to before we commit to it, because sometimes we have commitment issues, right? Sometimes we have commitment issues. If we go, I think I might like it, maybe about right there, so that it goes on a little bit over the edge. Let's see that. Oh, and then before we do that, let's also figure out because none of this gets done ahead of time, other than, obviously the list topics. We have to know what those are. I can't think on the fly that much. And then I have a good idea of the product that I want to use, because if not, then it would be a disaster, because I wouldn't be I'm very indecisive sometimes, and I'd be looking everywhere. So let's go ahead and chop this off right there. And it's just the process that I go through. And as we do this, I talk about the process because it might be interesting. Sometimes I go ahead and round that lower corner. There I didn't. We'll see. So I think I'm going to like that sticker right there as kind of like a little header for this. And then the rest of the list will just bleed into there. What I need to now figure out, and again, before I'm ready to commit, I'm not sure where I want to put my title. Let's see, hang on. Michelle. Okay, I'm just looking. Michelle said, watching and only 69 likes. Smash, people. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, I always forget that, but if you like, please thumbs up. Super important. Karen, paper, yeah. San Angelo, coming out of the winter temps and snow, but lots of people still with frozen pipes. Well, now we are praying for you. Okay. Tanish, though. I don't know if I said that right. Okay, let's keep going. So I need to figure out for my title that I will write on. I had also pulled out of that sticker book. It's a giant sticker book. It has 30 sheets. So if you look at it on the website, I think I have all 30 sheets shown, but this is one of the sheets, which I love labels, love using labels. So I think if I took one of these labels and maybe put it up there and wrote my title, that might work. So this is what I'm going to do again. I will take out, actually we can get rid of this trimmer now because we're done with that for a bit. I'm going to, let's see which one. Oh, you know what would work? Maybe, which one of those? Because there are multiple colors that would go super well over here. Let's see what I want to use. Oh, you know what? Actually, now that I think for a minute, I'm thinking now about what kind of washi I want to do down here, but I also know that scatter needs to go down here. So, I will figure out washi based on maybe those two. So if that's the case, then I don't want to use a different pink up here. I think I'll use the yellow. But again, I'm not sure I'm ready to commit. So if I just use my little scissors and cut that sticker out, then I won't have to necessarily commit. I almost did it correct. Yeah, I probably butchered it. I apologize if I did. All right. So let's just see. Let's try to get as much of the white off because I don't want that white to, mess me up. All right. So if I do that, well, that's really not going to work, is it? Because it doesn't leave me any room to do any type of title. So that won't work. And then if I would do it up there, it just really won't work because then it's not good that way. So if we put it here, then it's too big. And if we put it in anywhere in here, it's too big. So that is not going to work. Let's see if maybe one of, I'm just going to pretend something here. We're going to pretend for a minute that I didn't cut that up. And if I were to, actually I wouldn't even have to do a new piece because I could just make that work like that. If we were to do this and that right there, and I said reasons why I like to list, and then happy was there. Yeah, that doesn't work either. So I still want to go this route. All right, what if we do a label down here? So what if we do something like this, but then our little scatter friend still, we need to make sure that he has space. Actually, that could work because then it could be like he is speaking reasons why I like to list. So that's what we'll do. All right, let's go ahead and commit now because sometimes we could just sit here all day and look at different things and second guess ourselves, huh? I need a family member who resides in the same house with me. Nick, if you're still on, I desperately need a fan. Like desperately. And then Brooke, you'd only live like a half an hour away. If no one comes to rescue me, you'll come to rescue me, right? Oh, heavens. In this case, I am going to round this corner. I don't think Nick's still on. I'm thinking that I might need to like open the door and say, Nick, and make him come up here. Oh, hold on, Nick. Hang on, you guys, like seriously, I have to have a fan. Hey, will you, oh gosh, bless your heart. You guys, guess who I found walking up the stairs with a fan in hand? Okay, okay, whew, like seriously, actually. I'm going to take my jacket off. I will put it back on before we end, but little squirrel moment, sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sure I'm glistening, which is a nice way to say, yeah, I'm sweating. All right, so yes, let's do that. Oh, okay, hun, that's good, but here, it needs to come right here because that'll be too loud. But if it's right here, you have to unplug this light one. Sorry, you guys. In the summertime when we're doing this, definitely have to have a fan so it's all set up. Generally in the winter, it's not necessary, but that is menopause for you, right? Personal summer, that's what I have, my own personal summer. Scatter's going to go right down there. Oh, that's good, honey. Perfect, here, right here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You heard me. You came to my rescue, my hero. Oh, he's opening the window in here too. That'll be good. That'll fix it. All right, here we go. In the same way, dress in layers, I know, right? And Kathy, I have bare feet. I have bare feet all the time because I cannot wear socks. Because then that's like a just horrible. Because it just contains the heat. In my body, it's like wearing a hat. On your feet. It's still warm. So here we go. All right, let's see. This guy will go. Oh. So interesting. What we're going to end up having to do, what it was hard to see, and it'll be okay. What it was really hard to see was what it looked like without all of the rest of the white behind it. So it actually was able to sit up a little bit higher. And now it's not. So I just need to move it over a tad little more. Okay. Let me see, these might, I don't know, this is such a big sticker. I'd need like 8, yeah, it won't work. I'd need like 8 of those to help. So if we go over a little bit more here, well, that's just going to have to do it. There we go, that's pretty good. There's a little extra space right there, but it's okay. I'm just going to take out my little white pen and color that little spot in because that'll bug me. There, never even knew it was there. Okay, dokies, now, when does it end? Yeah, I know. I've been in it a long time. I think it's different, right? I think it's different for every person. Blowtorch. Yeah, it is like a blowtorch. It's exactly like a blowtorch. And I don't know about you, but generally, blowtorch is not really something that I am interested in. And I apologize if there's any men here. This is just kind of what happens, right? This is what happens. This is part of what we do. We're all just chit-chatting. So, all right. So now let's put scatter. Scatter is going to go down here in the corner. I need that guy. And we need to, what do I do with my little paper, scratch paper? I always, especially when you have a new stamp, encourage you to test stamp first. Test stamps first. So you are priming, number 1, priming the stamp by stamping it first. But number 2, I always like to test first because, especially when I'm spelling words or especially when I'm doing a date stamp, I want to make sure that, that things are spelled correctly, right? So, but you guys get a feel for that. The company that does the stamps, Andy Stamps, and now the Scattered Thought Stamps, the quality is amazing because the lines are just super nice and crisp. I didn't get that one done very well. All right, I saw somebody who's brand new. Let's see. Nick, all in my head. Yeah, right. Nick, I'm going to tell you, honey, right now, that's probably not the thing that you want to say in this group because if it's in my head, I think it's in a lot of our heads. Yeah, too funny. Okay, really quick. Someone just said they're catching live for the first time. Oh, Jasmine, hi, welcome. I know, guess what, Michelle, the wood is. It's disappearing, and that's okay. You can, I always say you do you. So here it's a nice accent, but we still have, you know, a good amount of that wood right there. Some people would write their list right on the wood, and the wood is light enough that you could do that. So if you didn't want to lose all that really pretty wood, then you could absolutely do your list directly on the wood. Okay, we're okay here. We're going in. Uh-oh, I moved it a little bit. You can't tell, but I moved him a little bit. So he's a little bit, well, anyhow, I moved him just a tad. I rocked it, and sometimes you shouldn't rock. So he's good though. All right, then I always do this. I always try to remember when you're done stamping, if you're not going to put it away right away, because I'm not, at least try to get most of that ink off. Then that way the ink's not setting on the stamp, but also so you don't accidentally put something on it, right? Because you don't want to get that black ink over something. All right, so there we go. Now we were going to do this right in here. So, I don't love that. I just don't love that. The happy is making it a little bit hard to work with, isn't it? Just because it's so big. And it'd be one thing if it didn't have all those little descenders. So the bottom, this is our little line, right? Well, that's our line. The things that stick down are descenders. The thing that stick up are ascenders. So my little descenders there are kind of causing me some issues. But we'll work with them. Let's see if we want to add a little washi. That's what I used over there. This one is one of my new go-tos, this pink grid. It's funny because it's a really good neutral. And it may not seem like it's a neutral. It's a neutral, like some of you are with me at the very beginning, the kind of yellowish color. masking tape not masking tape washi. Ooh, that's weird. Measuring tape, there we go. I just pulled that off because it ended with a really weird tear that I didn't want to have. So do that. Oh golly. Reggie, hi, I just saw you. I could maybe cut it in half, right? I could maybe cut it in half, so let's see. Here we go. Right, so here's another thing. If I did this, we could have this go here. He could go right there, kind of right there. If he were to go right there, then I'm going to say I don't want to use it, because if it were to go right there, then I have all of this stuff here, and then I have this here, and then I've got these kind of weird angular things going on. So I won't use that one this time. I like that little guy. And you can see I'm not, I still have no plans for a title, because that's not happening. What if let's just try something here. I'm just going to, again, see what this would look like. I'm pretending like I wrote it right there. So it would go there, but it needs some color. This has to happen because I can tell that's part of the problem already. Not problem, just part of the reason why I think that things just don't seem like they're gelling for me. Also, because that's very unlike something I would do. That's also part of the reason it's not gelling. Okay. What if this were to go... We'll just kind of make that messy for a minute. If somehow it were to go up in here, I think that's where it needs to go, but different than that. So I'm going to come back to that. I'll come back to that because I have an idea for it, but I have to figure out where it is. All right, now I'm going to make my list, and I am going to use these acorn flower. I kind of like this little flower. Let's try the little flower and see what it looks like. Write your title like a word strip on top of page. Up there, right, Kathy? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I hate yelling. We need a stamp that says about last month. So, Kim, that's interesting that you would say that. One of you emailed me last week, and made an amazing suggestion that I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And... oh, the skinny. Oh, yeah, the skinny could work. The skinny yellow, right? And she had an amazing idea for a stamp set. So I definitely do not want to be in the stamp business. I had to do scattered thoughts because, of course, right? There are some amazing people that do stamps. Andy's one of them. But when it comes to something like this that's super specific to Lael and Lael by Mail, then it can't be Andy, because it would not make sense for Andy, because she wouldn't be able to sell that to other people, because people would be like, who is Lael? Why do we care about this? But there is one more stamp that Andy and I had been working on specific to listing, and specific to travelers' notebooks. And I took a left turn. Well, I let her know earlier this week, but then this morning, I took a left turn again. I have an idea based on one of you that emailed me with an idea, and then Kim just added to that idea. So, working on Andy, if Andy's still here, now you know Andy, working on a stamp set that has some titles for us that we would use in our lists. Our lists that we do a lot. So, and I love Kim's idea, the one about last month. About last month is one of the stamps, or one of the lists that we do often. Well, every month. And some other ideas for listing titles. So if any of you have any suggestions for titles that we would use that would be very generic for our listing, but also specific for our listing, I would love to hear them. And I would just ask that you shoot me an email. You can go to my website, click contact us, shoot me an email, and I will, then as we are kind of figuring out what that stamp set might look like, then I will absolutely take those into consideration. But I would love, love, love. Oh, I need to see how many I have. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So I'm going to do the first one first. Well, obviously. Lael, do the 5th one first and see how that goes. Golly, sometimes I astonish myself in some of the things that come out of my mouth. I need to place this differently. And I'm going to move it because it's possible that it may have a mind of its own and try to skip off the paper. Skip off the block. So there we go. Now it is more centered so that when I go to stamp like this, it will be more centered. And actually, I don't need it centered there. It'll make it a lot easier if I move it over this way. Don't mind me, just this is what happens, right? When we work, we have to think through things sometimes. There, that'll be easier. Let's now try that again. It's going to be a little bit different pressure point when I go to stamp. So that's where I don't want to rock it. When I say rocket, I mean this, and that's a very exaggerated version of a rocket, right? So when I go like that, that's very exaggerated, but I don't want to rock it because those lines are pretty fine. And I don't want to blur them. Like Robin Thicke, right? Blurred lines. Okay, here we go. This is the first one, and we'll go about right there. Okay. Ooh. Yep, don't mind that. That'll just clean right off later. All right, the first one. The first one is, why do I like to list? The first one, it keeps me organized, right? If I write it down, then I don't have to remember. Hi, Jackie. Bye, Jackie. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're on our first list. We're an hour in, friends. That's okay. You just know this is sometimes what we do. We're all hanging out, right? I have an agenda, but not really. We have an agenda in that we have 3 topics, but other than that, okay, the next one, this is, I tell you what, and I promise you, and if you say you don't do this, I don't believe you. So I can cross things off, right? How many of you make a list, a to-do list, and write things on your to-do list that you've already done just so you can cross it off, right? That's okay. That is A-okay. You have my permission. Because there's something that happens when you cross something off your to-do list that it makes you feel a sense of accomplishment, right? You feel like you did something. And sometimes we need to feel like we did something. So you have my permission to add to your to-do list every day. Get out of bed. A to-done list. Yes, Rachel, absolutely a to-done list. You have my permission to write on your to-do list every day. Get out of bed. And guess what? Some days, if that doesn't happen, that's okay. Because some days you can't get out of bed. Some days you don't want to get out of bed. So add to your to-do list. Get out of bed, brush your teeth, maybe it's have a cup of coffee or have your protein shake or whatever it is. Add those things that you do every single day, and then you already feel like you've made a huge sense of accomplishment because literally you've started your day and you already have 3 things done. Wake up. Even write that one first. Wake up because hopefully you're waking up. And then you can cross that one off too. For me, it is the creative process. right? And I talk about that a lot, that's what this is for me. When we get together on Saturdays, this is my creative time. I don't have a lot of other time because of my business that I can devote to being creative and doing what I want to do. If I'm not designing a new kit or a class or something like that. So this is my creative time, and that's why I love to do it. And that is when I do these type of lists. Not all my lists are like this, I promise. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this is a big one. To get things out of my head. My lines are a little bit short there. So there are a lot of things for a lot of us that just roll around in your head, right? They just roll around in your head. And for me, I start to get really overwhelmed. If I know I have a ton of things to do, and if I have a ton of things to do in lots of different directions, I know I need to order more boxes and more tape, and I need to approve the final proof for Andy of the packaging for the scattered thought stamps, and I need to schedule a pickup for the mailman, and all of these things that you have to do. If I don't write them down, all that stuff just like tends to like a tumbleweed, right? Or like a snowball rolling downhill. It just like gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when that happens, I get like more stressed and more anxious and more stressed and more anxious. So that if I can just get it on paper, even if I write a list of 50 things to do today, I'm not dumb. I know there's no way I'm ever going to get 50 things done, but at least those things are out of my head and on paper. And then I'm not worried about forgetting them. So that for me is a really big thing, to get them out of my head. Another one is brain dump. Exactly. It's a brain dump. It is a brain dump. Let's see. The next one is okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yes. The next one is, it's also kind of tied to the other one. It is to help me remember. So I can remember. A lot of times Christmas lists. So if you make a Christmas list every year, then you know what you have purchased in the past. If you have a Christmas card list that you refer to every year, or you have a birthday list. A lot of people keep a birthday list, and every month they look at it and go, okay, January, these are the birthdays this month that I need to send cards for, or texts for, or emails, or, give a phone call or whatever. Those are the things that help you remember. But it's also nice to have those things to help you remember for the future. One of the lists, the last list that we will do today, is why I do lists. And that one is my go-tos. So I'll be doing a list about my Trader Joe's go-tos. So when I go to Trader Joe's, the things that I always want to buy, because we love them, they're staples, and I don't want to forget them. So if I have a list like that I either write in my traveler's notebook, or I put in my phone, or whatever it is, that right before I go to Trader Joe's every time, I remember, oh, yes, remember to get these 512 things, because if you have a Trader Joe's, that's how it works when you go to Trader Joe's. But it's to help me remember so I don't forget. Okay, let's see what else. Keep motivated. Motivated is a great one. So guess what? Joanne? I have 7 now. Motivated for sure. So, I will write that one next, because then my very last one also kind of ties into the motivated. There we go. And this one, to stay motivated. Boy, I tell you, there's nothing like at the end of the day, if you have all the things crossed off your to-do list, it's pretty awesome, right? The need to cross off a list outweighs procrastinating on non-fantastic cleaning the bathroom. Yeah. So Britta, here's the nice thing about your list. You decide what goes on there. So you may not have cleaning the bathroom on there. Or I think last week we were talking about the Franklin planner and how lots of us had the burgundy one back in the day. I worked for AT&T back then, so they put us through the Franklin training course I don't know if it was Franklin Covey back then. Anyhow, but how to manage your tasks. And you had A and B and C tasks, and the A's you had to get done, and the B's, but then the C's, and then you would move tasks forward on your to-do list the next day. So if you have a plan, even if you don't get everything done on your to-do list, but you move some of the things you don't get done on your to-do list to tomorrow's to-do list, then kind of helps you stay motivated, I think. Accountable. Ooh, that's a great one. That is another great one. Keeps you accountable, right? Then that's when you can put things on your to-do list that you don't want to do. Like, don't eat any chocolate today. Don't. Okay, my last one is, I think this might have to be a 2-liner. It gives me, this is going to get, let's see, a feeling of accomplishment. Well, we got a little squish there, and I could have reworded that. Clearly, I could have reworded that so that it would have fit a little better. Because now, I'm just going to tell you this is going to happen, because if it didn't happen now, it would happen later. It's too close. It's too close to the little washies, but that's okay, because that's the beauty of washi. We can just lift that right up and put it back down. And we'll just put it down here just a tad, maybe a little more, like that. Okay, there. Now we need to do that and come back in and finish my little outline. And because this one is kind of see-through, I probably better finish that line there, or it'll look weird. All right, there we go. So now we need some more things, right? It's kind of boring. It is kind of boring, and we still need our title, because we'd be looking at this later going, what? What's she talking about? Happy. The reasons why she likes to be happy? I'm not sure. So let's look and see. Someone suggested this guy, but I think this little yellow one might be too skinny. Hang on. I'm just temporarily, okay. It's thinking if it likes that or not. But we know we need something up here, and we know we need kind of something in here. What you can do is scatter, and I'm going to show you. Oh, here. These are the two, it does need more color, Kim. Exactly. So these are, Michelle, pink is a big one for me, pink and yellow. These are the two lists that I did that are on the packaging for the scattered thought stamps. So I just want to show you a couple things that you could do. And I've colored scatter in both ways here with colored pencil. So this way, I took from Andy the colored scatter, which you'll see on the packaging, and then also the sticker, looks kind of like that. So she used different colors and shading, and so I did that with the colored pencil, but I never could have done it if I didn't have something to look at. So colored there, but then I also colored, I know, Kim, hold on, you're not gonna like the answer. Here, I just colored him in with some pink and some yellow because it kind of matched that. But, so there are some ideas of scatter colored in. Colored pencil, you could use markers, you could use watercolors, you could do lots of different things. I wish that I could get 1,000 more of these, because these are old. This was something that Prima Marketing did, and I got as many as I could, and then they were gone more than a year ago. So yeah, I know, I hate to even pull that out, but somebody said the lemon paper. Lisa, I think you may have asked that before and I missed it. This lemon paper is from the Flourish. The Flourish paper pad. All the papers that I have out are from Flourish. And that I have linked in the description. I'll use some of those on our next list. Okay, so that was just to show you some ideas on how you could color in scatter. So I will color them in, but I won't do it right now because then it will be like watching paint dry. That was mean. I know, I'm sorry. I just needed a really super neutral one that could go in the photograph. So, and that just, it still happened to be in there. Okay, so we need something up here, we need something in here, and then I'll come back in and deal with little scatter later. So let's come back to this and see what else. This, I like the butterflies. I like butterflies a lot. I know not everybody's a butterfly fan. So let's just see, what if we did a little bow? Maybe. Maybe we'll just kind of set it there. There could be a little, it could go there because you still know that's a Y. It doesn't really work as well on a P. Here would be another option. It would pull in some different color, like this guy, this sticker. This could go right there. Oh, yep. I already know. That will go right there. So this is going to go back. I know this will get used again, but I like where this was headed. I know, Tracy, wouldn't that be awesome? That would be awesome if I could find someone to make me traveler's notebook covers. Here's the thing. Unless they're like handmade, it'd be looking at China. Like a factory in China. And when you go that route, you have to make a lot, like a lot, thousands a lot. So we can hold out hope, right? Maybe one day, maybe like 20 years from now. All right, so I think I like this here. Right there. So it's just a little bit off of the white. Actually, it needs to go a little bit more off the white because I don't want that to run in over there. Right there. And then I'll write my title on there. Okay, now we need something else up here. Oh, okay. Well, we certainly could go with the flower. That's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, no, that doesn't work because the reason this doesn't work, see how we have like this line going on here? Don't want a line. So Shelly, if we're saying blurred, I don't know in live mode if you see this, but on your little player, if you see little gear, click on the little gear, and change the setting. It will, I think the quality setting, it will automatically set it to what it thinks it should be. But if your internet, if your browser is kind of struggling, maybe your internet is a little slow right now, that could be affecting it. So try that. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, IT. All right. So we're getting there. We're still haven't really found anything to go up here yet. We don't want any words. You'll notice I pulled that little bow because I felt like we had an issue going there. So the bow thing may just not happen as much as I like the bow. Yeah, no, that pink doesn't go with that pink. So this is what will happen, you guys. I will do this for like another minute or two, and then I will stop because in a lot of cases, this is now just me kind of playing and figuring out what I want to do. And sometimes it happens really fast. And other times what happens? It takes forever and a day. And we've talked about this before. Sometimes you just have to walk away, right? If things just aren't kind of gelling, sometimes it's better to walk away than to kind of keep trying to force it. And then it always works, right? It always works out. When I show you at the end of the next week, I'll show you, oh, look, this is what I did to fix it. And everyone's like, oh yeah, that worked. Or some of you are like, yeah, not so much. All right, so YI list, that will go right there. And I have to be a little bit, YI list. There we go. Just had to be a little bit smaller. I mean, I couldn't quite go with my crazy handwriting that I normally do. Okie dokies. So that is how I'm going to leave this list for now. Before next week, before we meet again, I will figure out what I'm doing up here, and then I will also kind of play a little bit with Scatter because he definitely needs to be more colorful, that's for sure. But what I do need to do is I need to date this. I think that I will wait too. I'm going to wait until I figure out what I'm doing up here. My date may somehow work into up there. So for today, we're going to call this one good. Oh, Joe, look at you. You have a good one too. Your husband just delivered breakfast to your craft room. That's awesome. That reminds me of the time, you guys remember, when Sam, our son, who's 20, delivered me he had been making hash browns in the air fryer, like the hash brown kind that you get like at McDonald's, that little shape. He brought it in on a plate and handed it to me in the middle of one of these with a whole bunch of ketchup on the plate. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, something up here, Michelle. We'll end up with something up there. I just need to kind of play a little bit more to see what we end up with. Yes, but it was so funny because he was so nice. It was so nice of him to do that for me. Yet at the same time, I'm like, kind of in the middle, so I can't really kind of, Denise, that was a standard. It's a standard. That was a standard. You can try to find it. It's the pink ruffle. I think that's what it's called, from Prima. I tried and tried and tried. I bought out the last that they had. That's not to say that it, you maybe couldn't find it somewhere else, but that's been out for a couple of years. Okay, so there we go. First list. Second list is this one. Was suggested by our friend. There are two. I will tell you that they did make two. This is the standard. So this is the standard. This is the size that pretty much that you see me use all the time. They did also make another one. They made I think a personal. So the personal would have been, probably about this size, smaller, but it's a personal. But if you're okay with the smaller one, then absolutely get it because it's fun. Okay. This one, yes, this next list is my morning routine. So this could be your morning routine, or you could say our morning routine. Maybe it's your family or your routine with your pet or your routine at work or whatever it is. But this one is, I'm calling it my morning routine. And this was suggested by our friend Reggie. So Reggie's amazing. Reggie's one of the seriously most talented people that I have ever met. She can do it all. She can do it all. So I loved that she sent that and said, hey, this would kind of be a fun one to do. So morning routine, that is going to be, I'm going to have to come back and deal with this at some point, you guys. I'm going to have to put something on here. We decided last week that I couldn't do this list on there because it wouldn't go very well. So I'm going to have to circle back. Because the one I'm about to do won't go well on there either. Morning routine. What I thought I would use. This is the one that I think I'm going to design kind of similar to this because I liked the double layer of pattern paper. I just like to have more color. I went for a while where I had a lot of white in there. So I decided, you know what? I need to go back and start kind of adding some more pattern paper. So that's what I'm going to do here. I am using this paper. Okay, I love lemons. I know that sounds weird. I love lemons. Well, it's very well deserved, Reggie. I met Reggie through my friend Michelle Craft, who owns 3 Craft Chicks, a scrapbook store up in Washington State. Now, let me tell you, talk about the perfect last name to own that kind of business. Literally, her real last name is Craft, C-R-A-F-T. So perfect, right? If you're going to own a craft store, if your name is Craft, that works really well. But yes, I met her through there, through my friend Michelle. So I love lemons. I just love lemons. I have a lemon washi tape that I try to have on my website at all times, just because I think it's really fun and fresh and you can use it for a lot of different things. So this one is morning routine and it's kind of fun and fresh. So a lot of times we need to feel fun and fresh in the morning instead of like dragging, right? So I thought that would work. So that one, if I'm going with this again, I will probably have, that will probably be my background, I'm thinking. But I need to then find, let's see, I pulled out some other, oh yes, not this one. I thought we could do something kind of fun with that, maybe later. Not that. This has too much going on to go with that. That is really cute, but too much going on with it. So let's see what else we have in here. And I flip. This is really cool. I'm not sure what you would do with this, but it's really cool. Oh, well, I'm sure someone could make something really cool. Actually, I know what you could do. You could have a double page spread, and you could just have this kind of be, in fact, I would have this on this side because the peacock's looking this way, so it wants to look at the list. But you could have a 2-page list, and you could maybe do a cool title here and then have your list over here. Sometimes we look at paper like this, like I did, and be like, oh my gosh, really pretty, but how in the world would I use that? We just have to get creative. That's fun, but doesn't go at all. That won't work as my, no, that's too much. And I may not be able to find something in here. I might have to go. Oh, guess what? That's why I had this paper. That's why I had this piece of paper, up there. Because these would go, these are what I'm going to do. The washi tape of leaves would go well with the lemons. That one. These washi that you see right here, 1, 2, 3, these. Those washies, those are from the Flourish washi set. See? Flourish, they go together. So yes, I think that one too, that wood grain. Yes, I think those are the 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. All right, but there's one more that I had in mind. There were 2 new washies that I brought in this week. This one is called, I had a very difficult time naming these, so they were different. This one I think is called Weekend Perspective or something like this, that I thought might be fun to try to work in because it has the days of the week. It says Saturday, take a break. Sunday, that's amazing. Monday, a new week. Tuesday, another day. Wednesday, half a week passed. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. And then Friday is good news. Anyhow, I thought that could kind of work for daily routine, kind of fun. But then the other thing that I thought would work for daily routine is this guy. And this is, I think I just called this one 7-day week because you have your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in different fonts across the washi. Oh, good, Brooke, you found a little one. Good. You just check. I don't know if they come with inserts. So when you go to put inserts, when you go to get inserts, just make sure you're buying inserts that are the smaller size. That's probably the biggest thing that I see when people buy the smaller ones, that they don't quite get the right size inserts that they need. So just watch for that. All right, so these 2, again, if we're kind of going off this, I'll probably have that in the background and then this in the foreground because a lot of this background will get covered up. We're basically just going to copy ourselves. Well, not quite, but a lot. Because if we like something, then why not do it again? So now instead of measuring, I'm just going to eyeball. That's probably okay. So let's try that. There's lots of talking to myself that goes on. You guys aren't going to believe what I'm doing right now. I am putting on my jacket. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. All right. Ooh, that jacket was like it was behind the fan, but oh my gosh, that jacket's like cold. So would you believe it? Now I have like the chills. Trisha, yes, it is the last set of washi. These or this? They all are. These probably the easiest way. These are separate. They're not together as a set, but these are separate. And these, probably the easiest way to find these, because I don't know if I linked them, would be if you click on the what's new on my website. And then you'll see them probably the 2nd or 3rd page in, I think. I know, hot, cold, right? Isn't that crazy? Yes, but I love it. I have the chills now. That never happens. Never. Flourish is on there too. Flourish, the Flourish paper that I'm using, the Flourish washi, and then also these guys. These are puppy stickers. So one of these for sure will get used on this list because I don't know. This I love, obviously, but this, I love that. That little partridge reminds me of the Partridge Family. And Keith Richards, is that his name? Keith Richards? I don't know. That was a little bit before my time, just a teeny bit. So Keith Richards always seemed to me when I was that age, well, that, you know, when that was on, he always seemed like kind of this, like suave, but a little bit like icky older guy. Oh yeah. Just squirreling. We're talking. What did you talk about today? Well, we talked about, no, not Keith Richards. No, Keith Richards is somebody else. Keith Partridge, David Cassidy. Oh my heavens. Yes. Keith Richards. Isn't he like with Aerosmith or some Rolling Stones? There we go. Oh Lordy, friends. You know, it's just, right? It just happens. It just happens. Oh, I know. Well, she's probably not on anymore. She's probably not on anymore because she's probably had enough of us. But I'm just going to squirrel for just a second because this is a good one to share. If you don't know, there's a Lail by Mail Facebook group. So it's a private group. Anyone can, you know, join. You just need to say, you know, please add me. I'd like to come to the group and I'll add you. And it's really fun group. Lots of people on there that are sharing their lists, talking about all different kinds of things. But Shannon, Shannon, I don't know if I should say her last name just because I don't know if she would want me to. But Shannon in the group earlier this week made a post. She made a post about her 6-year-old daughter, whose name starts with a G. Now, I know what her name is because she told us in the post, but I'm not going to say her name because, you know, I don't want to share the name of her daughter in this, you know, public. But if Shannon's daughter, G, is here, hi, honey. You guys, it was the coolest thing. Shannon has been listing and her 6-year-old daughter has been doing a little bit of listing with her. And so it was so cool. She told the story of what had happened when they were listing and she showed G's list. And you guys, it was the cutest thing. I think it was like reasons I like my family. And it was just the neatest thing. And it just touched my heart that it was something so neat that Shannon and her daughter could do together. But also that to see young kids do this kind of thing, whether it's being creative or I think that planning and listing is a really great thing to teach kids early on. Because if you do it in this type of format where it is creative, then their little brains aren't really getting that you're trying to teach them something, right? If they're making lists, they're getting in a habit of making lists, making to-do lists or being organized. When I taught planner classes for a long time, it was the same thing. We would do, hey, Vicki, we would do creative planning where we do planning, but we do stickers and different things like that and add photos. But I loved that because it was teaching younger girls and boys too, not just, but mostly it would be girls that I would see or hear from, teaching younger girls when they were young, younger girls are young, how to plan, but they weren't really realizing that's what they were doing. It's like we were giving them zucchini bread to get them vegetables, right? We were teaching them how to plan creatively, but at the same time, they were learning really good lifelong skills. So I loved that post and just thought it was neat. And I probably now have totally missed G because she's probably, I'm sure after 15 minutes, because, you know, 6, it's probably like, oh my gosh, I am out and I'm out. I'm going to go watch cartoons or play in the snow or whatever it was. Hi, Vicki Booten. So nice to have you here. I'm sorry I missed your last night. Things were a little crazy. I haven't even told Vicki, which you guys, that's surprising. Vicki and I are very close. Vicki, I have my own stamps that I just released. So when I did that last night, oh, I don't want to do that yet. Let me explain really quick. I do not want to, I need to show you so you can see what they look like. Vicki does, I know, I owe Vicki a package. She keeps saying, I want that, send me this, send me that. Yes, Vicki for sure needs my new stamps. Let me tell you what I just did there, friends. I was in the habit, normally what I would do is, this is my base paper, so I went to go apply my adhesive, but I don't want to do that yet because what's happening is something that is unavoidable. The deeper we get into our insert, it gets a little bit harder I'm here to work because I have lots of bulk over here and not as much over here. So my pages, you know, kind of start to wrap. I'm going to build my entire list first on the base, and then I will just adhere the base there. That'll be a lot easier because I also want to do a stamp. I just remembered. All right, so there's my base, and then let's just see what we did before. Well, if we really wanted to copy ourselves, we could do the exact same thing. So why not, right? Why not? That's what we're going to do. So let's do this. There's my little mark there, which is going to be hard to see because it's on dark. And then let's do this here. Is there anyone from LA here? Anyone that's a Clipper fan? Basketball Clipper fan? You are not my favorite today if you are a Clipper fan. The reason is the Clippers played for the second time this week the Utah Jazz basketball last night in LA, and the Jazz lost. The Jazz right now, they're the Utah basketball team. The Jazz are the #1 team in the NBA. And they had a, I think, 19 out of 20 win streak, and then they lost to Denver, and then they've had a 9 in a row win streak, and then they lost to the Clippers last night. It was a very close game. So normally I like you, anyone from LA area, but not today. So go sports. Yes, Vicky's not a sporter. Although Riley played hockey and Devin rode, so yes, you're a sporter. Where do you watch Vicky's videos? Vicky, do you want to answer? I'll answer. And then Vicky can type too. She has a Facebook group, Vicky Booten Artist, and she does Facebook Lives on Friday nights. And they are amazing. Lael and Vicky are like polar opposites. We're the exact same person in some cases, but in other cases, we're polar opposites. We're polar opposites when it comes to what we do, the art that we do. Vicky is such an amazing, talented mixed media artist. It will blow your mind. Lael gets near paint and gets it in her hair. If we just leave it that, we leave it at that, then that's how we are. And you guys think I'm joking. I'm totally dead serious. Every once in a while, I talk about scrapbook.com. I've done a lot of work with scrapbook.com, the website, in the past. They're amazingly wonderful people. I was out there about a year ago, December, filming a whole bunch of videos for them. And one of the things I was doing, I was working with some Nouveau, which is just a, I don't even know what you call it. It's a, it's not the glue. It is a dimensional, I don't know, whatever. But I was doing something with it and I was filming the video and it was going great and da-da-da, and I did this and I accidentally did this up to my hair. I got this mustard colored Nouveau stuff in my hair and we had to stop the filming, and I said, it'll be fine. And my sweet friend there, Laura, is like, no, you might want to go to the bathroom. I had this mustard colored, because I'm like, it'll be fine. My hair's that color. And she's like, yeah, you might want to go to the bathroom. I had this all over my hair. So yes, Vicky and I are polar opposites when it comes to mediums that we work with. In that I work with no mediums and Vicky works with all the cool mediums. Okay, UPS man's here. That could be a good thing. Well, that's always a good thing, but that could be a really good thing. I'm not sure. I think I told you guys, scatter the stamps. All the production stamps are here. They should be here today. So I'm not sure if they're coming UPS or FedEx. So I told Nick, I said, Nick, you watch for the door. And if they come, you have to bring me one. So we can see it in the packaging. Crystal drops. Maybe that's what it was. Crystal drops? Yeah, I don't even remember. Yes. And you guys, here's the other thing. Vicky and I are very alike in that we are both blonde in more ways than one, huh, Vic, right? We're both very silly and we have kind of, we both get distracted easily. You can see by Vicky saying, I need that cloud dish. I think that's Hobby Lobby, Vicky. I'll add that to the list of things I'll try to find and send you. Okay, so this was going here. Is it? Yes. Okay, this can be a little bit of a smaller list. Clearly what I'm doing here by keep adding, there's a word missing there. As I keep adding additional layers, the size of my list is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. In some cases, that's hard to work with if I have a really long list. But in this list, where it's just my morning routine, I mean, I'd love to say that I run 8 miles and then I come back and I lift weights for 3 hours and then I take a leisurely shower and then I make a super healthy vegan protein, no vegan can't, some kind of protein that's not animal protein breakfast. And then I spot clean the house. That is not my morning routine. So it can be a smaller list. Kim, take a deep breath. That's funny. You could tell. It is Vicky. It's Maggie. I know, right? You can tell. All right. So let's go back to this. This will be maybe a little bit down low like this because if I decide that I want to use one of these guys, see that. That's the one. I mean, I could put a lemon here, but then that's an awful lot of lemon going on. I don't want that lemon. But I love this little partridge. So the partridge is what it is. Let's just go ahead and adhere these. The nice thing, you guys, about, and we talked about this and saw this a little bit last week, the Maggie Holmes, it's really easy to mix and match her collections because they very much have a look to them. Let's see. All right. There is no upside down or right side up to the lemons. I had to double check that because they are hanging all the ways. Right? That one, okay, maybe this way is better. I don't know. We'll just put it down. Yes, really easy to mix Maggie Holmes collections because they, just had an idea. They definitely have a look to them. They use a lot of the same color palette too. Vicky eats chicken wings. What? That's funny. That kind of sounds like when we were all in grade school and you're on the playground and you're like, Vicky eats chicken wings. Vicky eats chicken wings. I know Vicky eats chicken wings because Vicky does keto and she likes chicken wings. Me, on the other hand, this is an example of when Vicky and Lael are polar opposites. I cannot stand chicken wings because you have to eat them with your fingers and that's just gross. For me, it's gross. I have issues. Okay, I think that little guy is going to go there. Look who's going to come back in again. This little guy might come in right there. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe this guy comes in like this. Or maybe... maybe something like this. We'll just kind of tuck that in there right now. This will go here. We need some washi. We need some washi. Oh no, that one's not going to work. This one could be pretty. What else would we put with that? Let's see. Lael doesn't eat food with a bone in it. You're right, Shakira, I do not. I do not. Teresa, look at you go. Congratulations. Foamed up. Okay, Vicky, here's the thing. Can't do it. Can't do it in a traveler's notebook because then it gets too much. So can't do, well, I don't do, I'm just looking in one of my drawers. I don't do foam in a traveler's notebook because then it gets too hard to work with on the next page. No. Yellow. We talk about yellow a lot. We've talked about yellow washi. Hey, Vicky, I'm just looking through drawers, so that's why I sound weird. In your next collection, add some yellow washi. It's really hard to find a good yellow washi. It's really hard. Although, hang on. Sorry, totally sidetracked. I know what I need though. I need the Swiss dot, the Doodlebug Swiss dot. That is bumblebee color. All right, hang on, friends. I probably should have pulled that out before. The problem is when you have 8,012 rolls of washi, it's really hard to find. So what do you suppose the chances are that Nick is still on, listening? This is what I need. I just need the yellow version of that. Yeah, of course it's not right where I need it to be. No, oh, Reggie, yes, you and I could probably go to town and have all kinds of stories about why we don't do that. Okay, look at me. Oh, shut up, Vicky. You're a mixed media artist and you love all the layers and all the things. Yes. All right, so I pulled this one out. That could just in a pinch. That'll probably work in a pinch. So let's see. That guy's not down yet. If it goes right there, and then this guy, let's see if this is a nice contrast. This one could go, actually, this one could go. Oh my gosh, hold on you guys, because remember, wasn't the idea to use one of these? Because this is the routine. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Maybe. Let's just see if this works here. It's just going to sit there for a minute. There's too many options, right? That looks like some weird single white female blah, blah, blah abbreviation, doesn't it? Forever is made of moments like this. That would be a routine, wouldn't it? Let's see. That's the nice thing about washi. You can just kind of start putting it down and not necessarily commit, right? We'll find something here that we like. We'll find something. Rip that part off. Top right in the cloud dish. Is that the black and white that we're talking about? All right, this is not going to happen on this one. So let's just move this off to the side. I think we will go with these little three things that I have going here. There's one. Let's cut this off. Like that. Now you guys know why I like washi. Because if you have a lot of washi, you can pretty much always find something that works, right? You pretty much can always find something that works. Now, somebody said pink, so we definitely need to get some more pink in here. And it's okay that that wasn't quite the right yellow because I ended up covering a lot of it up, right? So that's okay. This will go there. And this little guy is still getting ready. Oh. Well, we cover up part of our words, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. They say yellow doesn't sell. I say lies. Yes, we also know something else they say doesn't sell, huh, Vicky? I won't. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. Just more awesome Vicky stuff coming out. Just you wait. Just you wait. Oh, in here, friends that don't know Vicky, I should tell you. Vicky is a dear friend, first and foremost. An amazing artist, second most. She also has her own line of products with American Crafts. So some of you have seen me use Storyteller or have seen me use Let's Wander, the travel collection, or Kaleidoscope. Anyhow, she's a brand new one coming out. I think late March, maybe early April, maybe late March, crossing our fingers, called Color Study, that you guys are going to die over. I mean, of course I'll have it. Of course I will have it. Forever is made of. There we go. It's just going to be like that. But then, you know, Vicky's always thinking, she always has new things coming. And so wait till you see a new thing after Color Study coming. And I can't say any more than that. I'm sworn to secrecy, huh? All right, so let's see. Sometimes the list is all about the decorating, right? And not so much the list. And that's okay because it's fun. We're just being creative, and sometimes we can just be creative to create. Oh, I did remember that I wanted to use one of these. All right, so I'm going to use this stamp, that life stamp, and I'm going to stamp it. This could get tricky, friends. This could get tricky because you can see how it is partially, it'd be partially on the paper and then it would be partially on all the rest of this stuff. And that may or may not work. So this is what we're going to do to test it. Oh, I can't test it. I'm so silly. Because we could totally ruin it here. So one thing I could do, let's try this. Let's try this. Hard to get, Baja, I'm sure. I'm sure it's hard for you to get lots of things. Oh, in fact, I think your current order, right? That's you, right? That we've been tracing your package all over Poland. Did you get it? Assuming that's you. Joe, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp it and then cut it out. We'll see how that works. Baja, I think maybe that's you. If not, then there's another person from Poland that participates that is waiting for an order. Exactly 8,012. Shelly, it's probably pretty close. Yeah. Yes, Vicky is amazing. Her collections are amazing. And I will tell you, the reason why they're amazing, she spends an incredible amount of time working with the team at American Crafts to get it the way that she wants it. Vicky's also a crafter, right? She uses the product, and that's really helps. When sometimes people are designing things or they don't use the product, it's a little bit harder. Sometimes you'll look at something and be like, that doesn't really work. Why did they do that? Well, sometimes the person that designed it isn't necessarily a crafter. So it's a beautiful product or a beautiful design, but if they're not used to like actually working with the product in the real world, then sometimes it doesn't really translate. And that's why sometimes you look at things and go, huh? That's why. But Vicky is very involved in that process with her team at American Crafts. So what stamp set is this? This is, I have it linked. It's a Heidi Swap set. Interestingly enough, with her Mink brand on it, but her Mink is a really cool tool that you can use to apply foil to your stamped, to lots of things. But that is it. But I loved it because it really has nothing to do with Mink. It's just like a regular stamp set. So this I have linked in the description of the video as well. I have a theory about this stamp, and so I'm going to see. I'll tell you next week if I think my theory is right or not. Well, I'll tell you right now. I find that things like this that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. And this too happens with the Maggie Holmes collections. I love it, and I buy it because I buy it anyway, and I bring it into the store. I bring it to my website, and then it just sits there. And it sells a little bit, but maybe sometimes not a lot. And I'm like, what in the world? And then I use it in one of our little Saturday videos. And then all of a sudden it's gone. And I'm like, So that's my feeling with this stamp set. Because I love it. I think it's awesome. If you know this designer, Heidi Swap, then she is known for her handwriting, absolutely known for her handwriting. And so that's what we see here. This is her handwriting. Where she's handwritten these words, life, highlight, weekend, and love, which are just really great, like titles, especially if you're scrapbooking or card making or whatever. These are great titles. And then the beautiful flowers that go with it. So that's my theory. We'll see next week. The squirrel, what? I'm confused. Oh, poor Vicky. I'm like, the squirrel's on the page, what? All right, I'll show you, Vic. Here. All right, for everyone that's already seen these, I'm just going to show you again because, if Vicky wants to see it, well, I'll just take that off. See? There we go. That is Scatter. That is our new little mascot that was designed off of this guy. And little bullets and lots of little things. Some of my sayings, you do you, and get it done. Because, if we're making lists, get it done a lot of times. Anyhow, that's it. She's holding you hostage, yeah. Kathy, do your pink scissors cut all the way to the tip? I got mine a couple of weeks ago, but I'm struggling because the very tip section does not cut. So are you holding them this way? Pam, I did. I hand wrote the sentiments on the stamp set. So the get it done and the you do you, yes, those are, that is my handwriting. It's funny because when we were, so hold on really quick. Back to Kathy. See Kathy? So if it cuts right there. So I just went right to the edge. But I found for me, you definitely want those to be holding it in your hand like that. And then use your little thumb, and you're barely really moving your little pointer finger to get the best, like, I guess most precision cut there. So yes, what we're doing here, we're fussy cutting this. So we stamped already, we stamped it, and now I'm cutting it out. And then that will be a way that I can use this stamp. I was having trouble with it before. I was afraid, right? I was hesitant, I shouldn't say afraid. I was hesitant to stamp that directly on the list because I would stamp it because of the descender, right? Descender, the little things that go below your main line. Because of the descenders, I was worried about that trying to stamp down here and then it getting, all over the washi, and stamping doesn't work very well on washi, and then getting it on the paper and then having the edge. So this is how you can still use your stamps and make them go anywhere. So probably what I would do if I had a lot of extra time, I will deal with the top of that eye in a different way. If I had a lot of extra time, like if I was, when we binge watched Lost, because we're like 3 episodes away from being completely done. If I sat down and just stamped a whole bunch of words like this and then was fussy cutting them while I was watching Lost, that would be a good use of my time. I think if you find stamps like this that, or even little squirrel, even scatter, that you really like and think you're going to use a lot of, this is not a bad way to have some ready to go, right? Just have some of them ready to go, because now they can go anywhere. And this would also be a way if you ever wanted to take, let's say if you ever wanted to take scatter and put scatter, like right there. Well, I couldn't put scatter right there. I couldn't stamp him because then it would be weird. There's too much going on. But if I stamped scatter first and then, like this, if I stamped scatter first and then fussy cut him out and put him right there, then it would work because he'd be fussy cut like we fussy cut life. All right, so then what I can do too is if I wanted, I could have that go a little bit on top of there. So that will work, and then I'll just need to come back in and add my eye. And I have an idea maybe for that. So I need to stop using so much. I'm getting out my little glue pen. That will help me make sure that I get into those little tiny descenders and ascenders of my letter, right? We use that. I use this too in my die cuts because you want to make sure that you get glue or adhesive everywhere, and it's a lot harder to do if you are trying to use a big tape runner like I normally use. Now we will do this so we're not getting glue everywhere. And I think we just might go like that. And so part of the life is on top of our little Keith Partridge. No, David Cassidy, Keith Partridge, right? Keith? Yeah, now I've totally confused myself. The Keith Richards Partridge, that's what we'll call him. So for the top of the eye, let's see, I really wish, oh yes, perfect. Okay, I was going to say, I wish I had a black heart. That sounds bad. I wish I had a black heart. But I think one of these are from Doodlebug. These are called tiny hearts. They're on my website. But I think what could work is that right there. That pink, that brings in a little bit more pink, and it ties in with the pink. And interesting, the lemon paper, you really don't see much lemon now, do you? You don't even really know that that's lemon paper. Oh, well. Okay, so now we're back to title again, right? We're back to title, morning routine. I always struggle with my titles. let's see, what if we did this? Let me pull this out. I kind of like that up there as an accent though. Oh. If it was like this, and then I wrote morning routine like that, if we cut off the top, I think that will work. So I'm going to cut off the top of that sticker. Oh, Sean Cassidy, don't even get me started on Sean Cassidy. Kim, there is Flourish Washi. So there's Flourish Washi, Flourish paper pad, Flourish puffy stickers on website. If you just go on there and search Flourish, you'll find it, but it's also linked in the description of the video. Marie, so, and a couple of you are finding that pink ruffle notebook on Amazon, and good for you. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting. Normally we use standard size, and this is standard, right? This is the standard size. This fits most of what most of us do. The ones that you see on Amazon, they're not standard. They're personal or pocket. So they're probably about this size, maybe 2/3 of the size. So just make sure, although if you order on Amazon, usually you can return it. So, but just make sure you know what you're getting. I know, I wish so bad that they still made those. So bad. The standard size. All right, believe it or not, I have to turn the fan off now because, I'm actually really getting chilled. Okay, I need a small, oops, that's the little remote. Small trimmer to try to get this straight. Well, that would be easy if we cut it right there, wouldn't it? Okay, there we go. Now I can use this for something else as long as I don't lose it. Because that's probably what's going to happen. All right, there we go. So we can take this off now. And 1/4 inch shorter. Huh. Then you know what? Maybe. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's not the size I'm thinking then. Oh, I hope you guys find it because yes, it's a good one. I love it. Prima they had a line of planners and traveler's notebooks for a while. And they haven't done that now for, I don't know, probably about 1.5 years at least, maybe 2 years. Let's see. Trying to get this centered. Oh, I know. Let's use our trick. Oh. Where's the ruler? Oh my gosh, well, I can only blame myself. It's not like Nick's been in here, or my kids have been in here. My kids are adult kids. I'm looking for my little steel ruler. Darn it. Okay, hang on. Let's grab a big one. And now you'll know why the little one works so well. Because when you have, oh, actually, it won't be too bad. Because I'm not in the book. So what I'm going to do, since I was having a hard time centering it, I will just put a little bit of this on there, like, whoopsie, try to get it straight, like that. And then I can come in here and get it centered. It's just harder to work with when you have a much larger ruler. And that looks pretty, you guys can probably see the top of my head, sorry. I just have to get over it. Get over the top of it. There we go. There's your trick if you haven't seen that before. I have little 6-inch steel rulers that normally would be in my little thing here, but not there for some reason. So when in doubt, have to use a big one. Alrighty, so now let's get our Partridge Family lunchbox. I love that. Won't that be funny when they wonder why in the world they are suddenly selling ruffle TNs, right? Exactly. It's funny. My friend Carrie Bradford, you guys know that I love her stamps, that I just think she walks on water. It's funny because when I use the stamps, she'll be like, it's so weird. Like all of a sudden I'll get like a rush order, like not a rush order, but I'll get like a flurry of a particular stamp that all of a sudden is getting ordered. And then I go, oh, it's Saturday. I bet Lael just used them. Isn't that funny? Oh, good, Karen. Glad you found it. I love and miss you, Konkar. Mwah! Big, big kisses, my friend. Oh, measure yours. Yeah, Mandy. Sure I will. Let's get the big ruler out again. So that is 8.5 height, and width without the ruffles is 5.25. Width with the ruffles is 5.75. So 8.5, whatever that was, 8.5, a little bit more than 8.5 by about 5.25 to 5.75. Okay. What is this? Oh yeah, my morning routine. Dirt. Okay. Let's see how I want to do this. I think here, my morning routine. I already know this is going to bug me. This has to go all the way across because it looks weird. It looks like it's just floating. My morning routine. Alrighty, so I think what I will do, if this matches, this is what we're going to use. Matches. It doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. Remember we said coordinate, so we'll see. The dot markers. This is Lael version of mixed media using a colored marker instead of black, right? No, I love Sean Cassidy. He's not bad, I don't think. I loved him. Loved Sean Cassidy. Hold on. So, I just missed something. Yes, so shorter, so your inserts that you probably used to using, the standard inserts will be too tall. So you just have to figure out what inserts go with it. I don't know if they tell you what inserts go with it. Maybe a B6? I don't know, I'd have to look. Anyhow, my version of mixed media is using colored markers. Last thing, little trimmer, Polar Cubby. That is, it's called it's a guillotine trimmer. This little one is made by Tonic. I don't think I have it linked in the description of the video below, but if you go to my website, laelbymail.com, and then click on favorites, under the trimmer section, I think I've linked something similar to that. Okay, so what I thought maybe I would do is I might make this list in a color other than black. So these are the dot markers. Let's see, okay. I was thinking ocean. Ocean can be kind of cool, but then there's way too much teal going on because all of this is teal and then that's also teal too. So really, this probably won't work because candy pink is, I don't know. I don't think candy pink is the right one. I had to swatch these because it was too hard to see. So candy pink, that's candy pink. So this is how we'll just test it. We will write, so my morning routine, the first thing I do, so Nick always jokes that he comes up with a list. He doesn't come up with a list, but he always wants to know what I'm doing. And he's like, what are you putting for your morning routine? And I started saying things. And he's like, well, duh, you go to the bathroom first thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that'll have to be the first thing. So this is how I would test it. Now, I don't have enough room to do my dot as a bullet. So normally I would do my little dot as a bullet like that. That's what's so great about these markers. That end is a dot. And your dot changes, the size of your dot changes depending on the pressure that you apply. But the other end is just your fine tip. So, but I don't want to do the dots because I think that's just going to be too much. So probably what I'll do is maybe just something little like this, like a little asterisks. And then if I put that there, so I'm just trying to see what this might look like because sometimes, not sometimes, I rarely use a colored marker. So go to the bathroom would be the first thing on my list. So let's see if we like this, what this looks like. Well, let's look at another one. Open the blinds. because I hate it being dark. I have the blinds open almost all the time. So open the blinds. What do you guys think? Pink? 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 Brooke, if you need help with inserts, just let me know and I'll see if I can't help you figure out what size you need. Okay, guys, what do you think? Pink or black? Now, I'm not mixing. I won't mix because I just don't, I can barely use color. I won't mix. But let's just see what you think. If we want to do the pink or we want to do the black. I don't know. Pink is hard. The pink is hard. Nope. Kim's saying nope. Nope on the pink. Yeah. Nope on the pink. I think so too. All right, let's try this. I saw someone said, what about the yellow? We could try the yellow. So let's see this. Check emails. How do we like that? We like the yellow? Now we're getting a little bit confused. So let's try this. Yellow, too light. Black, I know. See, I want to like color, Vicki. I mean, I like color. I really like color. But then I think, oh yeah, I'll change it and I'll do like a colored words, and then it doesn't happen. So yeah, pink and yellow dots with the black. See, I don't think I can do that either. Let's just see what Vicki's saying. It goes just against me. Check emails. I think it would have to be the yellow. If it was anything, it would have to be the yellow. Yeah, the pink is just the wrong color. It's kind of more of a, when you see it next to this is a more muted. I think it's just, all right. Gotta be green. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll try one more. We'll try one more, but I think the green, I think it's just too much. I'm not even gonna do one more. I'm just gonna do this. I am going to do this. Oh, that's already clean. So we don't need this little one. We're going to our bullets again because now we have all the bullets we want. So let's just add more bullets. Maybe this one. Or maybe, I don't really need like one of these, like the double X, the double outlined or double outlined box, because it's not like oh, actually it's kind of a checklist, right? Let's see. Let's do both of these and see which one we want to use. And those are both from Scattered Thoughts. Here we go. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Vicki, those are the, they're Zig Kuretake. I'm sure I totally butchered that. They're dot markers. Aren't those the coolest things ever? So two-sided. One makes your little bullets. Oh my heavens, yellow bullet with black dot in the center. Woman, you've now completely gone so far beyond my box that I can operate in. All right, so there we go. I think I might do that little X. I think I might do the little box, the double outlined box. Well, it's not really a double outlined, it's like an outlined box. So let's see. Whoopsie, don't get ink on me. Do it. Do it. Yes, Vicki, do it. Do it. Amazon. I got them on Amazon. They are, well, I know you're Amazon Canada, so, but they are linked in the description. So if you click on the link, then you may be able to find them. All right, let's see. Yep, I'm gonna do the double outlined. So, okay, here we go. This guy needs to get put away or else I'll lose him. I don't want to lose him. Okay, so DDD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boy, that's a lot of things. I'm not going to be able to fit all the things. Well, maybe I can. Okay, didn't quite stamp that one well enough. Go to the bathroom. Because I forgot that on my list. I will just kind of fix it. That's another reason why black pen sometimes comes in handy. Go to the bathroom. That's the first one. Next up, open the blinds. I mean, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird that I say open the blinds, but it is really part of my morning routine. It's something that I do every morning. Like, right, well, and then, well, that's actually not true. If Nick's awake, then I do that. If not, Nick's not awake, then I don't do that. Because that would wake him up. Because it's very bright in our bedroom. Open the blinds. Okay, go to the bathroom, open the blinds. Morning absolutions. Tried and true black. I'm with you, Denise. I agree. Do you find the marker writer is too light? These? No, because, I mean, here it was too light for what I wanted to do. I will show you. Hang on. When did I use, I don't use, oh, there we go. So that's when I used the color. That is the salmon one. So, I don't know. I felt okay doing color here, probably because it was a lot of black and white. I mean, a lot of white space. So I felt okay. So I don't think they're too light. Not in my opinion. Coffee with creamer. Yes, Vicky knows exactly how to make my coffee because when she visits me, she makes me coffee. And when we travel together, she makes me coffee in the hotel, which is so awesome. Nick does it too. Well, not when Nick, Vicky, and I are together because that would be weird. Oh, yes, that would be weird. We'll figure out a way to get some more yellow in there. Who said that? Debbie's therapy. Yes, we'll figure out a way to get some more yellow. We'll find some more stickers to put in there somehow. Oh, well, here's a way we could have done it. It would have been a lot of little hearts, but we could have used the little yellow hearts and had those as the bullets, but that's okay. Okay, open the blinds. Here's the next thing. Now, depending on, well, actually, I'll write this. I'm going to say, turn on the news. Or the Today Show. Now, I am very particular about the morning television that I watch. I watch very little television, but I like to watch the Today Show. And I have never been a Good Morning America person, and I've never been a CBS morning show person. It just is weird, huh, Vicki? When we travel, I have to turn on the Today Show in the morning just to get ready. That's just kind of how it is. So turn on the news or the Today Show. Then is the coffee in bed. And if you were with me last week when I did the things I love about Nick, my husband, he makes my coffee and brings it to me in bed. He is a keeper for sure. Vicky is a keeper too. Ironing, what? What? Ironing? Okay, totally missed something and iron your clothes. Oh yes, Vicky does. Vicky irons my clothes. So yes, when we travel together, so a lot of time Vicky and I are teaching at the same events or at a trade show together, like the wholesale buying show. We will be together and we are in the same hotel room and Vicky will iron my clothes. You know, I sound like a horrible person because Nick does all these things for me. Vicky does all these things for me. I probably sound like a horrible person. I hate that. I mean, I don't hate that you guys do those. I just hate that, yeah, you know what I mean. Yes, I have very good people in my life. And this is the part I really hate. These next things, I check email from my phone. But that's how, like, literally, I barely got out of bed and I start working. But that's, you know what, it is. It is what it is, right? At least I'm still in bed enjoying coffee and listening to Savannah on the Today Show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check email. The work starts right away. It shouldn't, but it does. But that's okay. Check emails. Then check social media. Right, Vic? Check social media. That is part of our business. That is just part of things, right? Social media is a big part of what we do. So check social media. And then scroll and double tap and leave comments because that's, you know, it's just kind of fun. Check social media. Oh, then this is the one indulgence. Well, I shouldn't say that because I like wine and chocolate. Not in bed in the morning. Sorry. This is, really the one indulgence that I do. I play, what do I play? On my phone. I can't look. I play, what's the game I play? Okay. I'm going to say play. And then I'm going to leave that because I need to know what it is I play. Another time sucker, yes. This is like my total just like indulge time when I just play some games on my phone. And then I get up and I make the bed because that is something I try to do every day because now, of course, Nick has to be up, make the bed because if the bed is made, it just feels better to me. Not everyone, but just for me, it feels better. So I like to make the bed with all the pillows and everything. Markers, clean markers. No, Vicky, they're called dot markers. Clean dot marker. Yes, sorry. That's interesting. It says clean dot marker. Okay, make the bed. And then I take my, oopsie. So I'm just going to say take RX, my prescriptions and vitamins. Although I think I might be having an issue with vitamin D. My doctor said I need to take vitamin D because I'm vitamin D deficient. And the last week I've been having some very odd stomach issues, like weird high stomach pains. And so I need to call her next week and say, is this normal? But I stopped today because I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Anyhow, the 36 pack. Yes. Candy Crush. So Miss Waddell, that is one of them. I know there are 3. There's actually 3. That's really bad. I know there's 3 that I play. Take fatty foods. Yes. But here's the thing. It started out of nowhere. And then since I was not feeling so well, I've had not much to eat all week, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Am I taking iron? No, not taking iron. It's the vitamin D, maybe. Okay. Last thing is I brush my teeth. And that is my morning routine. So I need some other things. It's kind of plain here. It's kind of plain up here. So let's just spend a little bit of time checking to see what we might add. And I think we should probably be pretty lucky. We should probably do pretty well finding something, a couple things that will work from Maggie's sticker book, because remember what we talked about, a lot of the colors are consistent throughout, and then it's the style too. So let's just see. We need something right here. So let's first find something right there. One of those flowers could work. Maybe that. Okay, let's hold on to that for a sec, because then we need something up here too, because it's pretty blunt. That is blunt with that. So we'll, the bird could be cute, but then that might be weird because then there might be too many birds on here. But that could be cute. Maybe. Oh, I love that. That's got to figure, I mean, not for that, but that's got to get used somewhere for sure. Okay. All right. Maybe no bird. Maybe one of these butterflies. Talking to myself. Vitamin D is once a week. See, mine is every day, and I think it's a lot. But I was really low in vitamin D, so I'm not sure if maybe that was I don't know. We still need more yellow. So yeah. Let's keep holding on. Oh, there's giant flowers. Oh my gosh, look at the parrots. How fun is that? The little parrots. Those are cute. They'll come out at some point. Oh, well, Okay, let's see here. Okay, this is not working. If I didn't have my jacket on, they'd be stuck to my arm. See, Carrie, guess what? That could also be my problem, and I've heard that recently. Oh, okay, hang on. I liked this delight in the everyday moments. However, because this is kind of, routine, everyday moments. But look it's attached to this sticker. So I think what I will do, because it's yellow, and that's what we need yellow. I will come in with my scissors, and where did they go? Where's my orange scissors? All right. I'll come in and just cut this off. Yeah, not parrots. No, I know, but they're cute, but not parrots. No, parrots wouldn't work here. Parrots and partridges are natural born enemies. You know that, right? You know I'm kidding too, right? I would not even know if that was true or not. Yes, so someone said take vitamin D with your food. Yes, I do not do that. That could also be really part of the problem. Because one of my prescriptions for thyroid is taken on an empty stomach. And then I've just been like, well, there's no way I can remember to do one empty stomach, one vitamin D later with food. And so I know you're supposed to take it with food. I think that could be part of the problem, maybe. I think that's just going to go right there because it's going, no, nope, it's too weird there. That'll work. It's just going to work. It's just going to work. Because I could spend all day. You guys know that. I could spend all day here. Because I have before. Well, not really have before, but I don't know. That's a lot of yellow. Okay, one more thing. Every day brings a new story, even though it's a routine. We won't get too hung up on that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. We'll put that one right there, even though we cut it off. All right, friends, guess what? Oh, yeah. Partridges and parrots, I know, Sarah. And then I just got silly by saying they're natural born enemies because they're not. Well, I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't have a clue if they are or not. Okay. Okay. That bear, I think, is the cutest thing ever. It'll get used at some point. Just going through it. I still need something there, but this is probably another one, you guys, where I will probably come back and figure out something because I'm just not finding. All right, this is what I'm going to do. This little guy right here is a sticker that says month, day, year. That is how, that's all right, Leo. That's how I'm going to date it. So this is 21/20/02. Okay, there we go. And yeah, I'll figure something else out. So, yeah, they're good. I like them too. They're just, well, let's see. How many stickers? I don't think it says how many stickers. It should. If they were smart, they are smart. 1,163 stickers. There's a lot of good stickers in there. Vicky has a tablet like this too. They're a bit older. Yeah, I know thyroid med is a pain when you have to take other meds. It's just, yeah. All right. Oh, Reggie, that's smart. See, and here's the thing. I wake up early, usually 5 or 5:30. This morning I woke up at 5:30. I just do. I just wake up early and it just happens. And so, but if I was smart, I would get out of bed right away and take my thyroid medicine. And then I would come back later and then do everything else later. No more hearts. All right, well, I'm just continuing to add, but see how it looked really plain up there and I just kept layering. So I'm adding that, adding these over here, adding that there, that just kind of helped to bring it all together. I do think I need one more thing up there and I need a word strip up there. So let's see. Maybe this could just say the perfect, let's see if a pink one is good up here. The perfect day. When in doubt, layer. You can always take things, well, a lot of times you can always take things off, especially if you're not, really sticking them down. You see me pull things on and off and on and off and on and off. All right, we need something over here that, I don't know, that's just not, I don't quite love that, but it's just gonna have to deal. We need something else over here. You totally forgot to make to take morning meds. Susie, I thought you said to make morning beds. Yeah, I totally misread that. That's funny. Yes, your morning meds. That's bad. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done because this is like watching paint dry now. But not in the cool Vicky Booten way where she's doing cool mixed media and watching the paint dry. No. So I will finish this one up. Just a couple more details that need to be added, right? Just a couple more things. So I will finish that up. Actually, we'll just put this, well, I'll have to clean all this up later. So we'll just put those right there. And this can now go into the insert. So this can go right there. See, that just made it a lot easier for me to work with. So if you're creating a base like that, don't be afraid to make the entire base, make the entire page outside of your insert, and then you can go add it when you're done, like we are. Now, if you feel like you need to get a little bit more color, and I won't do it here, but I will show you this guy. Oh no, it was from last week. Maybe it was here too. Well, there's an example of getting a little bit more color in the acorns. So when I use the acorns as bullets, I just use my colored pencil to color in the little caps one color and then another color. So if I wanted, I could color in the these guys with yellow. If I was going to do yellow, I might use colored pencil like I did there. Those are the circles, the outline circles with colored pencil in coloring them in just to give it a little bit more color. So you could do that. We'll see if I do something like that. Or you could do this, where I just took colored pencil and did the outline. So I didn't color in the complete heart. I just colored in the outer heart, whatever the outer heart is. Yeah. All right, you guys. So totally different. This is really bold because of that teal. If I didn't want it to be as bold, I could have done something in the background to really tone it down. So I could have used like a yellow, even cardstock. If you have plain cardstock, I could have used like a yellow, or could have used that pink to kind of pull the pink out a little bit more. Or I could have just completely skipped that entire background and used this as the base, because this as the base would have had a lot more white showing through, and then that would have kind of helped to temper it. So when you're looking at super bold patterns like this guy and a lot of color, if you want to pull it in, but you're kind of afraid of it, you don't want it to be like too bold, those are some ideas on how you could use just parts of it. you could also just use this, something like this, that really bold color as a background, and then just do your white list on it and add some colors. Yeah. Okay. So last list, the last list. This is my Trader Joe's go-to list. So this list, I'm suggesting that you fill in whatever goes in front of go-to list. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, I love to go to Trader Joe's, but there are kind of my favorites, are standbys that I like to make sure that I get when I go to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's isn't too far from us. I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, so it's really not far. But a lot of times it's really busy. And with COVID, a lot of times you're like, even though, you know, you usually have to wait in line outside and they, you know, cycle people through and stuff. But sometimes you're just like, it seems a little bit too, you know, tight in there. So I don't go super often. But when I go, I want to make sure that I know what I'm there to get. Now, I always get sidetracked and pick up other things along the way, but you don't want to make a trip. It's like going to Costco. You want to have your Costco list of your kind of standbys so that when you go, you know exactly what you're getting, because you can certainly get sidetracked in the Costco. So whatever this is, if you have your, you know, Whole Foods or your favorite local grocery store, or, you know, if there's a store that you frequent that has product that you like to buy consistently, then this could be your blank go-to list. Or you can make it whatever you want. This could be your scrapbook product go-to list. This could be your listing go-to list. This could be your vacation go-to list. So maybe you go on vacation, you always need to make sure you remember these 18 things that it might be hard to do without. So your sunscreen if you're going on a beach, or your charger for your phone, you know, whatever the things are. So you decide what the go-to list is. But I will tell you, we will do a vacation, like packing kind of list at some point in the future. Or I will. All right, so let us see. I don't even think I made a plan for this one, which could sometimes be interesting. I had this out for a reason. Was I going to fussy cut those? Maybe. Yes. My Trader Joe's go-to list is long. It has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things on it. And there's probably some things I'm forgetting. So I don't know if... Nothing in here. This is now too much. So let's look at... What else? Carousel. Let's see if there's something fun in here. Oh, that's kind of a fun one. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Completely different Maggie Holmes collection. This one is Carousel. This one is Flourish. But look it. So, colors, right? This color, if I had looked before, this would have been awesome to do behind the yellow paper, right? I just didn't look deep enough. I should know that after last week, after kind of a similar thing happened. When we pulled in Marigold with whatever else we pulled it in with. But a lot of the same color palette, and then a lot of the same or similar design. This one could maybe be fun. I don't know, because I haven't really thought this through, friends. And what I want to do here, that kite paper is that's cute. And since I'm doing it over here, that would work, right? Totally love that. I'd have to figure out how to use it. I'll figure out how to use it. Okay, so maybe I just feel like we need some more color again. Here's something that's interesting. And every manufacturer does this differently. So Simple Stories in their 6x8 pads, they don't have a hang hole at the top. That hang hole is so that if someone has like pegboard in their store, that could go and hang right on the pegboard. So it is not infringing on the 6x8 part of the pattern. It just has that extra pattern up at the top. Simple Stories doesn't do that. Simple Stories has this little thing on the back that flips up, then that could hang on a pegboard. So you don't have that little top on their papers. But what's kind of fun about having a little top like that is if you wanted to, you could work that into your, you could work that into your list. You could work it into your design as a header. You would just need to put something right up there, which I might do. So let's see. Now I can't cut this like I normally would, right? Normally I would, you know, just come in and trim because I want that to be in the center. So, gosh dang, wish I had my little ruler. I'm very curious as to where that went. It's got to be here in the mess beyond. It's here in the mess that you can't see. That's all the behind the curtain stuff back in there. All right, so this is 5, and I usually like it 4.5. Oh, this is math. So if I have 4.5, and this is 6. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, that would be 3/4 off of each side, right? I think. So if we did this, let's just make a little mark right here. This would be 3/4, right? And if this is 6, we went back 3/4, that would be 5.25. That would then make what we had in the center 4.5. There we go. Karen, I know. Karen, I need you. Karen Haynes, I need you. Yeah, that math wasn't too bad. That was not too bad because I could do the 1.5 inch in half was 3/4 in my head pretty easily. Okay, there we go, one. And flip it, here we go. Now here's the only thing about doing this, guys, is that there's actually a little perforation right there. You really can't see it, but there's a little bit of a perforation. So, actually you can't even see it. You just don't want to bend it. Oh yes, so now I need to do this. I need to shorten it as well. I'll get out the little guy. It'll be easier to shorten. So let's just go about right here, I think. Another way that you can work with in a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper is what I'll call the product strip that's up at the top. So this just happens to be on my desk. So 12 by 12 piece of paper up at the top. Oh, Donna, good for you. Good for you. Good luck. Actually, friends, starting this afternoon, I am starting to volunteer 8 hours a week at one of our local COVID vaccination sites. So this afternoon, I have my first shift. So I'm excited about that. All right. So on a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you have the product strip up at the top or at the bottom. And that's what I like to call them, just the product strip. It's the brand of the paper and then the name of the paper and stuff. Marilee, you did. Good for you. Good for you. I love to see all of that. Over here, you have a pattern. That pattern is what is on the back side of this sheet. So if I was using this 12 by 12 piece of paper for my list, I could absolutely incorporate that product strip in my pattern. So you don't always have to cut off your product strips, whether it's in a 6 by 8 paper or it's in a 12 by 12. You can work with them. Same thing on this side. You have the product strip from the other side. Diane, good for you. Those of you that have had one so far, any issues? Have you had any pain? And then I guess if you've had 2, same question. My mom and dad last week had their second, and my dad was completely fine. My mom did not feel well for a couple days. But I mean, you know what? It is definitely worth it than to not get COVID and to potentially, get it bad, life-threatening bad. So at least that's my opinion. We all have different opinions on things, including the COVID vaccination, but that's how I look at it. You do you. Little sore today. Okay, second, Moderna really knocked you out, 48 hours. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I had both, just headache and super tired with number 2. Interesting. Yes, Julie. Julie MD. Get your vaccine and wear your mask. Yes, spoken from a professional. I don't know. Oh no, I was going to say, I don't know. You could be you could have a PhD in engineering, but no, not if you have an MD. Hello. I have blonde hair. Round outer corners. So guess what? I'm not going to. This is why I'm not going to round the outer corners. And I'm glad you said that, because where's the piece of paper that I had left over? Well, we'll be able to see it a little bit, but with this going on right here, that little scallop, I thought that if I rounded that corner, and we really won't be able to see it here. Definitely not. Ooh. Yeah. Anyhow, if I rounded that corner, I thought it would get kind of weird in here. It would kind of put that at a really weird spot, at an odd spot. So I decided not to do it. But you're right. Normally I would. Normally I would round outer corners. So now what are we going to do? Now what are we going to do? So I was thinking that I would maybe fussy cut one of those little butterflies. But, you know, actually, since I will still do some fussy cutting with that at some point because I think it's fun. I love to fussy cut. And I probably wouldn't use that as a whole piece of paper, but I would fussy cut some of those little guys. But look what I can do. I could do like that little guy. I think I'll still be able to cover up the hole. But before I do that, I probably need got sidetracked by this. No, that's interesting. It has two little holes in it. I guess like they're little tickets. The little things are often the biggest things. Yes, because I love Trader Joe's, and it's just a little thing sometimes. True story. We'll work that in somehow, and I think we'll work that little butterfly in. However, I need to add my white in for the list. So here, I think I will just do white cardstock again, as opposed to one of these. Because I already have lines going on there, and lines with the circles I think would be kind of weird. The other one would be my go-to standby is always the white grid. And I think the white grid is just too much within the little polka dots in the back. Maybe, maybe not. Really what I need is a whole pad of just the white grid, because that's what I use all the time. And you know what'll happen? I'll just go down to my inventory and take another one out, which is not, it's okay as long as I remember to take it out of inventory. Because if I forget, then that's bad. Because then one of you goes to buy the last one, and then the last one is not there because Lael has used it, and then that's bad. All right, so I am going to, I think I want to have a bit of that background of the polka dot showing. So let's see what happens if we have one up there, two on the side. Where would my two on the side be? My two on the side would be right here. So this is actually going to end up kind of looking like a grocery list, right? So one on the top, one on there, and then I need one on the bottom. So my one on the bottom is kind of a half and half. So my one on the bottom probably needs to be right about here. So let's look at that. That would be there, 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 and there. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I saw somebody, AstraZeneca. Oh, right, for autoimmune. Okay. So, right, there are a couple then right now that are close. AstraZeneca and then Johnson & Johnson, right? It's interesting because the Johnson & Johnson, the first two, the Pfizer and the Moderna seem to, once they went for approval, it seemed like they went pretty quickly, but it seemed like the Johnson & Johnson one has been floating out there for a little while. Although I don't know. I don't follow it that closely to know when they actually put in for whatever it's called that they put in for. Okay, so we're a little bit wider, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're wider than I wanted to be, but that's okay. Oh, that's the scary thing about the temperatures, right? And that, yeah, that is the scary thing. Really is. So here in Utah, we had big snow. Well, it's interesting. So we get where we live, when I say where we live, I mean the exact location of our house. We have some friends that live about 4 miles away from us, that are basically right up against the mountains like we are. But we'll get hammered with snow and they'll only get like an inch or two. So this week earlier, we at our house got a ton of snow, like 22 inches, you guys, in like a 24-hour period. Okay, that is not going to work. So that's a lot. That is a lot of snow. We are at the base of one of the canyons, where two of the ski resorts are. That canyon was closed for 72 hours, I want to say. The resort at the top of that canyon, which is maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from our house, had 101 inches of snow in a week. 101 is a lot of inches of snow. That's a lot. So we've had a lot of snow, but we get lake effect snow from the Great Salt Lake. So lake effect snow, I know a lot of times you hear of like in Michigan. You probably hear of, I would imagine, like in Chicago too. I'm sure there are other places that get lake effect snow. But we get lake effect snow where it picks up the moisture across the lake as the storm moves across. And then it literally like dumps that moisture, like seriously dumps the moisture, in snow. So it's kind of cool if you don't have to go anywhere. But what's interesting, and we actually have had this happen to us once, the ski resort where this happens. There are two ski resorts up that canyon. One is called Alta and one is called Snowbird. Years ago, so I want to say probably 13 years ago, we had gone up to Alta for my friend's 40th birthday. And her husband had rented a condo and had a big birthday party for her there. And they were staying overnight, but no one else was. Well, big, huge snowstorm came in and they put something into place that happens every once in a while. You're interlodged, which means legally, you cannot leave a building, whether it's your house or whether you're in a lodge or a condo, whatever it is, you cannot leave the building. It is illegal because of the avalanche danger. There's a lot of avalanches that happen and you could get stuck and die. So when we were there, that happened and we had to stay overnight, which, wasn't bad, but we weren't planning on it. This is still a little bit too high. Well, this happened this past week, interlodged, and I think there were people, I want to say 72 hours, and literally you cannot go outside. You can't open any windows because that's just, part of what happens. But yeah, it is kind of scary. But avalanches so the reason the canyon was closed for a couple days was that, I'm going to try something here, was that there's avalanche. So they do, there are man-made avalanches, and then there are natural avalanches. They actually trigger man-made avalanches because they need that snow to come down. They don't want it to come down on its own sometimes. They need that snow to come down. So they will trigger man-made avalanches. A lot of times the reason the canyon is closed is because you can't have cars going down. Yellow doesn't work. You can't have cars going down because, they're trying to trigger avalanches. But if there was a natural avalanche, then it could kill a lot of people. If they had cars and buses and things. So there were a number of, maybe this one. There were a number of both where they trigger them, they literally shoot like huge, I don't know what they're called. If Nick was here, he would tell me. Charges, maybe? But they look like huge bullets. I mean, like this round, and they're, you know, like bronze or goldish silver. They're not, you know, but there's some kind of metal like that round, and they're like this tall, probably like 14 inches tall and about that round, because they have to trigger those avalanches. So the whole thing I'm doing here, I was trying to cover up part of that hole because I wanted this to be lower. So, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me think about this for a minute. If this, because I kind of like that, and I like the little white part there, but if I come in and we try to do a little surgery, let's see what happens. Because part of this gets covered up. Oh, there's my scissors. If I cut off a little bit of that, let's see if that'll be enough. What I'm trying to do is make this longer than it really is. So if that went right there, and then this came up here, where I bisected it, shouldn't really be talking about bisecting when I'm working with the butterfly sticker. There we go. So since I knew I was going to cover up that area anyway, I don't need that sticker right there. So I cut the top of the sticker off, like right there. So it kind of sticks up above the edge. So it makes it look like I've basically elongated that sticker. And then that can go right there. Actually, I might even be able to come down a little bit more. So I can, so we can see a little bit more of that. And then this could kind of be pointing to my title. Okay, not centered. We'll get there. There we go. So that's a trick. If you have a sticker that is too short, but there's part of it that's going to be cut off, or if there's part of it that is not like that, if there's part of it that's going to be cut off, or if there's part of it that is not going to show, like that, you can just cut out the part that your other sticker is going to cover up, and then basically extend it. I don't know, not sure what we're doing here, friends. We're just playing. I need something down here. I'll come back to that later. Okay, because I'm clearly totally sidetracked. Now this could be a lot. This could be a lot because I already have all those little dots. Well, if I do something else with it, it might not be too bad. Yes. What did you do today? Oh, I decorated my Trader Joe's list, which I know seems kind of weird though, right? That's okay. Okay. That's what we're going to do. There. And then this guy I need to rip off there. And then this little guy will go on top with gold foil. I decorated it with gold foil. And then something will go right there. And then I'll do my list. Actually, oh no, I don't want to do that. That is too much polka dot because it's polka dot, polka dot, polka dot. That does not work. So maybe let's try a little stripe. I just want to get a little bit more black in there. Actually, I think this one I want to make longer than the other two, so it will kind of bridge the two. There's one. There's one. Okay, so I wish, well, I'm not going to wish, I'm just going to do it. This is too short. It's just too short. And this is how I can fix it. We'll pick up all of these, kind of what we did up here, where we cut off part of our sticker and we made it work. I'm going to do the same thing down below. I'm going to, instead of cutting off, I'm going to add. Don't we wish sometimes we could do this, like add? You can always cut off, take off. You can never, well, it's harder to add. Like if you cut your hair, it's really hard to add back. So what I do, I'm peeling those both back, and I can just come in here like this, try to get those lined up. We kind of won't see. So we'll do that right there. And then I'll just come down maybe to right here. So let's see what that looks like. There's a little one. Okay, pink washi with it. All right, let's go back and look at that and see if we like the pink washi instead. Instead of the teal dots. There we go. You guys may have noticed I use like 3 different trim. Well, I use more than 3, but I have 3 different trimmers that I pull out, like sometimes at different times. This little one, because sometimes it's just easier to work with a little thing. This one, when I travel, I use this one because it's a little bit more portable. And then my green one. The green one is definitely my favorite, but what? Oh, Lael. Honey, what did you just do? What did I do? Oh, golly. All right, well, I'm not sure what I did. I cut something off and I wasn't paying attention. So sometimes this happens, friends, right? What in the heck did I do? I know someone, probably Karen. Probably Karen was watching me going, it's not what you wanted to cut. Not in a bad way, Karen, but cute page for Trader Joe's, right? I know. But here's the thing. Now I have my list, and now I could just take a picture of it and put it on my phone, and then I have it with me for next time. And you guys laugh, but guess what? Guess how I remembered some of the things that were on my Trader Joe's list. I had a list on my phone. It wasn't decorated, but I had a list on my phone. And I haven't added to it for a long time, but it did remind me of some things that I had on my Trader Joe's list. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get that because I haven't been on that Trader Joe's list for a while. See there, that's going to make it better. So let's go ahead and tape this down. You can tell I'm just rationalizing why I do what I do, making my list for Trader Joe's or Target or wherever it is. But like I said, it doesn't have to be it could be your go-to, maybe like Reggie, if Reggie's still on. Reggie has go-to colors that she loves, I happen to know, Doodlebug products. And so maybe it's her Doodlebug. So here's the thing. If we were to go with the pink right now, the pink I think would be a little bit harder because I have the stripe. So I'm going to stay with the polka dot, even though you'd be like, well, Lael, you had 2 polka dots. You let that happen. I think I'm going to stay, and then we'll work in some more pink. We'll move that down just a bit so it covers up my little seam. It's like hair extensions. We just added hair extensions to our list. And then we'll do that maybe right about there. Okay. Ooh, I'll fix it later. It's a little bit, the black washi is a little bit too wide for me. We'll just do this, take maybe that much off, and then reposition it, and then we'll call it good. It just looked a little bit too wide. Here's the other thing, you guys, and one of the things that I see in the Facebook group. The Facebook group I have linked in the description of this video as well. But one of the things that I see people saying in the Facebook group is how one of the things that they love about listing is they're using products from their stash, right? They're using products that maybe they've had sitting around forever and have not used and were either getting ready to donate or throw in the garbage or, who knows what, let their 6-year-old play with them, whatever. So it's a great stash buster, right? It's a great way to go to some of the stuff that you may be new to a lot of this, so you may not have any kind of this stuff around, which then you're just, figuring out where to get it or getting it from me or, figuring out what it is you want to use. But I know lots of you have lots of product around. So get out what you have and just start playing, right? I mean, you could have had a polka dot piece of paper laying around forever, and then it's just, you're never going to use it, you think. Well, get it and you work it into one of your lists. One of the disservices that kind of happened in the scrapbooking industry early on was that manufacturers kind of created a beast in that they were launching new products all the time. So it kind of created this pattern with consumers, you know, me, you, everybody, that you always wanted new stuff. Always new, always want the new stuff, always want the new stuff, which then makes it really hard. You've kind of created a beast because stuff that maybe was 6 months old, people didn't want to buy because they thought it was old. So I think doing things like this in a traveler's notebook, or if you do creative planning, you work in a planner, whatever it is, it's great because if you kind of got hung up in that, like a lot of us did, this, for some reason, doesn't feel like that at all. It's like totally freeing. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go pull out all my old stuff. All right, there we go. I like that better. Oh my gosh, you guys, here, the paint is drying. The paint is clearly here. Then we're going to see people will be like dropping like hotcakes. She's moved the washi now 86 times. I'm just going to move it one more time. All right, bear with me. Just one more time. You probably know what I'm going to do. It needs to all come down. It's just, let's see. Is this going to work? Maybe not. Okay, it's partly going to come down, but not all of it. So I just be very careful as I pull that off, and I'm not going to be too worried about what's coming off with it, because I do have a little bit of paper coming off with it, but I'm not going to be worried because the washi will cover it up. So here we go again. Third time is a charm, friends. Well, since we did that, why don't we just see about something different? Sometimes it's hard to make up our mind. Yep, I like that. I think whoever said, oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm coming. Oh, Lordy, you guys, I've just been talking to myself for a while. Or actually, guess what I forgot to do? Oh, now I just remembered. I forgot to do two things. One thing I forgot to do was put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So if someone calls, we are going to lose it. I will lose you guys. But the other thing that I forgot to do was plug in my phone. It needs a power source because all of this as we're working, it takes a lot of power. And I forgot to plug in my phone. I can't plug it in ahead of time because when I rotate the camera, it would get all caught. So I'm glad. I looked up and I see all the uppercase. I see all the, oh yes, I changed the washi. Oh yeah, so what you didn't see me do, you heard me. What you heard me do was I kept moving the washi. And then as I moved the washi, because it was too high, I moved the washi down. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously. I moved the washi down and then I decided to switch out the washi while I was moving it down. I know, just whatever. Like seriously, it's freaking washi on a Trader Joe's list. Okay, there we go. All right, it's gonna stay. It's going to stay. It is what it is. Yes, Suzanne. So Suzanne had a scrapbook store. She says, yes, I had customers that would come in every day to see if I got an order in and buy at least one of everything and spend well over $100 every time. Yes, because back then we'd be like, oh my gosh, I need one of everything. And then we'd say, oh, but I probably need 2 of each piece of paper because I need to make sure I have 2. But then we'd say, oh, but wait a minute. If I'm doing a 2-page layout, then I would need 2. So I'm going to buy 4 so that I make sure that I don't ever run out, right? And then generally what would happen is one day you would, finally get back to your scrapbook stuff and be like, yeah, why did I buy 8 pieces of that piece of paper? Because I don't like it anymore. I don't like what's happening there. I'll fix that later. Okay, so these are my Trader Joe's go-tos. So I think what I might do, I need a title. And I've been writing my title all along. And I don't want to, oh, I know what we need. I don't want to write my title. So I'm going to use some letter stickers. Let's see, bracelet fell off. I am going to use, I had the black, my type, but I want to use, I think, the cupcake. Where is it? One of these days I will put these guys in order of their color, because it will be, oh, here we go. It'll be a lot easier. Okay, let's see. Yes. All right. So this is going to say Trader Joe's. Now, whether or not I want to use, sometimes I like to use all lowercase. I'll use regular case. And I wish I had my ruler, because now I'm going to have to use the big, now I'm going to have to use the big one, and it's going to be harder. That, my friends, is why you always put your things back, right? Always put your things back wherever you store your things. Always put your things back where you cut them from. Karen, your last piece of Chatterbox. That is a blast from the past, isn't it? Seriously, blast from the past. Tire Simple Stories collection, add extra sheets of paper. There we go. I know, shopping in person is so much easier, right? It is. I mean, a lot of us are visual. If you're a visual person, it's hard to, just shop online, because you just can't really get a feel for things. Kim, you sent me that yesterday, I think. I love that. Kim said, if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to arrange my life to receive a happy mailbox from Lael every single day. Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be fun if we could decide things like that? Well, we can. I guess we can decide what we want. We just have to figure out how to make it work. And if winning the lottery is the way to make it work, then there you go. Trader Joe's. Now, Kim, don't do this. Don't just say, okay, split my order of 18 items into 18 different packages. That wouldn't work. Well, I guess it could, but you'd probably drive me crazy, and you'd probably drive yourself crazy, and then you'd be paying shipping a bunch of times, which wouldn't make sense at all. Okay, so I'm lining my letters up on the ruler. Normally I'd be doing this on my little ruler. Oh, guess what I just saw across the room? Hang on. I was measuring something over there. I don't remember what. This is going to make it so much easier to do, so I'm just going to move. It also has that upper line for me to line things up on, so that way I can make sure that things are straight too. Okay, there we go. All better. All better. The Mighty Mini, I know, right? The Mighty Mini. This is one of those. So I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, added a new little section of my website that like my go-to basics, because there's so many questions about what adhesive do you use, what pen, all those things. So I just added a go-to basics. This is one of, I'd say, like my top 3 go-to basics that I use on everything, and you see me every time. This ruler, and that ruler I use for this, but then also measuring and drawing lines, and as it's easier to work with since it's small in this smaller space. These tweezers, the reverse grip tweezers, that basically you squeeze to open instead of squeeze to close. And then it makes it easy, especially with little tiny stickers like that, to place. And then my fussy cutting scissors. Those are my top 3. I mean, obviously besides your adhesive or my trimmer, but those are definitely my top 3 tools. Let's see, if I do this, am I going to fit? I can fit, yeah, I'm going to fit them. They may go across the page, but we'll just add a little tiny space. See how I'm spacing my letters? I always like my letters spaced really close together, and that's just a me thing. I don't know. I don't like a lot of space in between my letters, but that's like I said, that's a me thing. You decide how you want to space your letters. But that's also, if you're tight on room, if you squeeze them together, obviously, then you can fit more that way. Now, if I wanted for my title, it could just say Trader Joe's. But it could say Trader Joe's go-tos or Trader Joe's shopping list or whatever. But I think I'm just going to leave it at Trader Joe's because I know what this is, right? And really, if anyone looked at this later, they would pretty much figure it out once they saw the rest of the list that this was like shopping list or my favorite things. So this will be interesting as we get going. Oh yeah, Karen, basic gray was a big one. Oh, Suzanne. Oh, my name's someone else's name. I don't know. I missed it. I usually respond to that because my name usually gets butchered a lot, but I never get offended. There's Shannon. Shannon, I was talking about you earlier. I don't know if you were here. I was talking about you and your daughter G, but that's all I called her was G because I didn't want to, you know, tell the world her name. All right. I said hi to her, but I figured that she was probably not around because it was a while. We'd been doing this for a while. Oh, yes. Oh, I know. So guess what? That is one of the things, and I just totally got sidetracked. I read comments. That is one of the lists that I have that we'll do at some point. It's one of the lists on my list of lists. I didn't do that very well. The reason that did that, I probably should have, well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, well, there's a couple things I could have done here differently, friends. Number one, these cardstock stickers, because this particular font, this is the My Type from Doodlebug, they are really narrow. The body of the letter is super narrow. They're not thin, it's a cardstock sticker, but the body of the sticker is super narrow. So it's a little bit harder to do what I was just trying to do. So that's why I lost some of them when I went to it here. Another thing I could have done though was, I could have figured out the bottom of one of my grids and used the grid to kind of help line things up. But I didn't do that either. All right. Oh, I know. So you were talking about basic gray. Karen said something about gray, basic gray. Yes. So Shannon, I was telling the story about the post that you did about your daughter in the Facebook group, and quite a few people were like, "Oh my gosh, they loved it," or they saw it and they loved it because they thought it was just so neat. Basic gray. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Kirsten, Sassafras Lass. Oh my gosh, that is a blast from the past. They were super nice. Well, I'm sure they're still super nice people. But back in the day, I knew them. They were another Utah, well, they were a Utah company. And they had really cool product. Like their art was just really cool and different. Basic gray, oh heavens, we're now in the Mambi, me and my big ideas, the stick kids stickers, weren't those fun? Yeah, that will get fixed. But basic gray. So, I worked for basic gray, well, for a year. It wasn't very long. It was very short-lived, for lots of reasons. I think they had some of the most beautiful paper around because when Rachel, Basic Gray was owned by a husband and wife team. When Rachel, she designed the paper and it was totally like cutting edge. No scrapbook company was doing anything like that. But I think what people started to find was that it was beautiful paper, but there was a lot of pattern, a lot of really strong pattern. And I think people would buy it and then not use it. I think that's never a good thing, right? If we buy, we should use. If we're not using, then we should stop buying. So use it. Okay. I got sidetracked down so many. I squirreled. Oh yes, October afternoon. Yes, Celia. Seriously. Yes, loved it. All right, so here we go. Trader Joe's. Here's my Trader Joe's list. It'll be interesting if any of you shop Trader Joe's, if any of these are on your list. And if you shop Trader Joe's, I'd be interested in what you might have on your list. Joanne, yes, I worked for Scenic Grout for, oh, how many? Three years, I think. Oh, Little Yellow Bicycle. Holy cow, you guys. It is like, oh, Trader Joe's. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, let's just add our little apostrophe. There we go. And if I didn't have one that was pink, I would come in and do a little, probably black one. Power Berries, Kim. I'm like, Power Berries? That wasn't a scrapbook company. What is, and then I'm like, oh, I know, Trader Joe's. You answered the question I just asked. Suzanne, you did? That is so cool. You placed your order with me or Vicky at CHA many times. That's fun. Oh my gosh, right? Blast from the past. Okay, Trader Joe's. Here's my Trader Joe's list. And I know Kim said power berries. Oh, archivers. Yes. Terry, now I'm trying to... Okay, Terry, how do I know you? I know that's going to sound really weird. Is it from archivers? I don't know. He'll be like, no, you were my brother's daughter-in-law's best friend's cousin. No, I know that's not the case, but sometimes I wonder how I know people. And if maybe it was archivers, but maybe not. Okay, so we're going to do a little line here because there's going to be a lot of writing. We need a little bit of a separator like that. Okay, Trader Joe's. Here we go. If those of you that don't know, Archivers was a kind of a regional, well, you know what, Terry, you explain what Archivers was in your little typing, and then because I'll just get sidetracked. That's what's happening. Oh my heavens, because it's 1:30. Holy moly. Okay, I got to get busy, friends. Really quick though, I just got something on there. I don't know if this will come off, and if not, oh, there we go. Okay. All right, time to make my list. This is like a marathon session, guys. Okay, here we go. Oh, simple stories. Okay, maybe simple stories corresponding. Okay. South African smoke seasoning blend. Never even heard of it. I'll have to try it. Okay, here we go. And these are in no particular order. The first one is Pepita salsa. Oh my gosh, that is so good. That is like a pumpkin seed, I think, base. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I promise you, Pepita salsa. So good. The next one is, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if we did... Okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'll leave rooms for some more, because I'm sure there are things that I have not... oh, yes, the sea salt caramels. Those are so good. Although I really wish that they were... I'm going to add that. I wish that they were milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate. All right, Pepita salsa. The next one. They're red curry sauce. Yummy. Super easy with like chicken and rice and some vegetables. Oh, this one's hard to find. Uh-oh. Okay, I just only made my N. Okay, I can't fix that. I'll just do that. I made my lemon, my M turned into an N. So, let's see, I gotta let that dry. Lemon, lemon, arugula. Oh, that's so good. I'm just looking, everything but the bagel spice. Yes, that's good. Okay, keep going. Lemon arugula, pork dumplings. Oh, yum. Those are in the frozen section. Pork dumplings, those are tasty. Now, I don't know what these things are called, so this is what I call them. This is what we call them. They're like salmon pinwheels, where they take salmon and maybe like an inch strips, and then they put like a mixture in there of, I don't know, I want to say feta and spinach and some spices, and it's so good, like some herbs, and it's so good. Last time we went, they didn't have them, so Nick made them, and oh my gosh, the ones Nick made were like 1,000 times better than the Trader Joe's ones, but they were good. Oh, this one, dill pickle popcorn. Yum, 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 so good. Dill pickle popcorn. That last time I went, they didn't have either, which made me sad. Best price on toasted pine nuts for pesto. Ooh, yes. Oh, the rice crackers. See, I totally forgot about the rice crackers. I love their rice crackers. They're tasty, like the soy sauce ones. Let's see. Oh, short ribs, cookie butter. Yes, Shakira, the cookie butter. Yes, so good, but I can't buy it because it calls to me. It like has a voice. It does, I promise you. So just know, just beware. If you buy Trader Joe's cookie butter, it has a voice and it calls to you no matter where you are in the house. And it says, come and eat me, come and eat me. And you just go to the jar and it looks just like a peanut butter jar, but it's cookie butter. And then you get a spoon if you're Lael, and then that happens. So it's really bad. So I can't buy it anymore. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, dill pickle popcorn. The pumpkin pancake mix. Oh my gosh, pumpkin pancake mix is so good. Last time Nick and I went, he got mad at me. Pumpkin pancake mix. That's going to cause a problem over here. The reason he got mad at me was it was probably maybe like early October. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the pumpkin pancake mix. And I tried to put like 10 boxes in the cart because I like to have it all year round. He's like, no. And I'm like, Nick. And he goes, we don't have a pantry that's like bigger than our house. Where are you going to put that? And I'm like, I'm going to put it on the shelf. He made me put a bunch of them back. Well, okay. It's not like he's the boss of me, but he said put them back. So I think I only got 2, which made me sad. I should have just gone back the next day and then bought him and like shoved him under the bed or something. He never would have known. Cranberry orange relish. That, my friends, cranberry orange relish. That is one of those things that is around the holidays, and it is in and out. Like that, you kind of have to like buy it and then freeze some because, oh, it's so good. But it's great with like turkey. And if you like to do like leftover sandwiches, turkey sandwiches with like mayonnaise and sourdough bread and the turkey and the stuffing and the Swiss cheese and then put that on it. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I'm really hungry now, if you can't tell. There are honey wheat pretzel sticks. Love those. They also have pumpernickel ones that are good too. Honey wheat pretzel sticks. This is going to be a really weird shopping list. Oh, here, this will fit here. Vodka sauce. They have vodka, like spaghetti sauce. And I have to clarify that because Utah has very different liquor laws. You cannot, like Trader Joe's does not have alcohol. It does not have 2-buck chuck or any other wine for that matter. No grocery store does. You can only get beer at those kind of places. So if you want to get alcohol, like vodka, but not vodka sauce, you have to go to the liquor store, and the liquor stores are state run. They're not like on every corner like you see in some places. So they're few and far between. Anyhow, so vodka sauce like food, not vodka sauce like vodka. But if you like a pink sauce, it's really good. Okay, next one. Just mango slices. Oh my gosh. Okay, the just mango slices, they are just mango. There's no sugar. There's no extra added any kind of flavor. They're just dried mango. So good. Yeah, no 2-buck chuck. Yeah, I know, Susie. That's how I'll always remember you, my friend. The drive-through daiquiris in Susie's town. And I never remember the town. I think it was somewhere in Louisiana, wasn't it? That's how often that I travel and teach. I mean, I literally can't even remember the state that I was in, although that was a long time ago. Tastes like lobster. Oh, okay. Langostino tails. Ooh, those would be good, right? Shannon had to do a liquor run. There you live in a dry county? Like no alcohol. Lafayette. There we go. Okay. Louisiana. I knew the state. A dry county. Wow. See, then maybe Utah's not as bad as I think it is. Okay. Just mango slices. Meyer lemon cookie thins. Oh my gosh. They also have, usually right with the Meyer lemon cookie thins, and I can't buy those because they call to me. They have a voice just like the cookie butter does. Super, super thin, round little wafers, not wafers, but little cookie. Oh, they're so good. Another one is the Mandarin chicken. The boys used to love that. Love, love, love. And it was easy because then they could just get home from school and pop it in the oven. Along those lines, they loved these. They're called sourdough cheese sticks. And they're kind of twisted. They're good. Okay, over here, I can add rice crackers because I totally forgot about those. See, here's the reason, guys. This is the reason why you want to list like this, because you forget about your favorites, right? You totally forget about your favorites. Yes, the watermelon margarita, by the way, Shannon, sounds pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Seasonal Vino Verda. That's got to be wine, right? Vino Verda. Verda. No, green? Okay, I'm confused. Let's see. I'm starving. I know, me too. I'm starving. Baja, thanks for coming. You guys, this is probably, okay. I think, okay, I've just got a few more. So I'm just going to finish my list. The mac and cheese bites. The boys loved those too. Mac and cheese bites, although these, probably aren't things that I would buy now. The sea salt caramels, I'll add those because yes, although I wish, again, like I said, I wish that they were, oh, okay, hold on, one more. Now my list is really starting to blend in. But this one, in my opinion, is like the best ever. It is the chili lime seasoning blend. And that on corn on the cob, even though I can't eat corn on the cob and I have to cut the corn off of the cob and then deal with it. Remember, I don't eat things with bones, so I also don't eat corn on the cob. Because, right, that makes sense. The chili lime seasoning blend is to die for. All right, friends. That, I think, is the last of my list. I got everything on my list. I even added two things. I added the sea salt caramels and I added the rice crackers. All right, friends. Yes, Melissa, feed your dogs and then feed yourself because I think we're all now hungry after that list. Well, it's probably good we didn't start out with that list. All right, I'm turning the lights off and I am just having a quick sip of iced tea and then I'm flipping the camera, guys. That wasn't iced tea. Woo, that was water with a little bit of lemonade in it. Okay, hang on. Flipping. Here we go. Hold on. Arms and legs inside the ride. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, oh heavens, you guys, this was a marathon one. I don't know. Ooh. Oh, Vicky, you're still here. Yeah. Okay, guys, that was fun. Just another, even if you can't get any of this in Canada, yes, but the next time you come to see me, we can load up your suitcase with a couple of those. Well, let's not load it up with like the, like the salmon pinwheels. We won't load your suitcase with that, but like the chili lime seasoning blend, you would love it. All right, friends, that was fun. Another fun Saturday. Let's see. Oh gosh, 3 hours and 34 minutes. And you know what? It's just fun, right? Some of you hang for the whole time. Some of you come and go. Some of you start early and leave early. Some of you start late and stay to the end, whatever. Some of you watch the replay, and I love it all. I love it all. I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys continue to join me every Saturday, and we just play and have fun. There were a couple of lists this week that I need to go back and just add a few finishing touches to, so I will do that before next week. Thumbs up if you liked the video, please, so important. Remember the giveaway. So when we're done, not in the chat, but when we're done, leave a comment on the video telling me one of the reasons that you like to list. That was the topic of our first list. So leave me a comment, one of the reasons you like to list, and next probably Saturday morning, because that's when I tend to do it, I will draw a winner. I don't even know if I said what the winner was going to get this week. This week, the winner is going to get the brand new Scattered Thought stamp set and the brand new Mini Clips stamp set. So that'll kind of be a fun giveaway. All right, friends, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go get some nourishment because we're all hungry after talking about all that food. Wear your mask, stay safe, and stamps, yes. And I will see everybody hopefully next Saturday. Oh, I know I'll see a couple of you, maybe 2 different times this coming week. one of the days, and I'm not knowing which one in my head, I think Tuesday is the our class for the March part of the Traveler's Notebook kit. So if you purchase that kit, just remember that's this Tuesday. And then Thursday, for those of you that purchased the Happiest Place on Earth Disney themed Traveler's Notebook kit, that class is Thursday. So if you ordered either of those and haven't received the email from me, unless you ordered it like within the last day or so, shoot me an email. I'll make sure I get the two. All right, thanks everybody. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next week.